Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It is Saturday, and it's time for another Saturday Share the Love Club. Share the love for the club of love. Yes, we have a very special Share the Love Club today, commemorating and celebrating the end of the Raptors 905 season, G League season over last night with another victory for the Raptors 905 over the Motor City Cruise. Very nice game, very fun, entertaining game. Unfortunately, I fell asleep during it, but it's partly because I was really tired. But I did watch the first half of it and saw some really good stuff and got up for the end of it and saw them won a very, very close, tight game and very, very happy with the outcome. There was an interview with Luke Wynn during the game for the whole second quarter, for the most part, talking about this season for 905 and the success of it this year. Honestly, on the down low, if you looked at their record and you thought about like what happened with them this year, you'd think it wasn't a successful year. But there are very positive bright spots for 905 season this year that we should talk about. Eric Curry talking about him after the game in his interview, saying that he felt like this year was a success in certain ways, if not for the score, in the way that they played in their record. There were things that happened with the 905 that were actually very, very, very fruitful and awesome and good. And that's what he liked to look and focus on. He feels like the stuff with Grady on 905 was super successful this year. He feels like a lot of the guys got better. He feels like the camaraderie of the 905 team was very high. And there was a lot of learning experiences. There's learning experiences for Eric on how to run the team in certain ways, and learning experiences for the players also. Eric Curry blaming losing culture to be very difficult to get out of in his post-game interview after the last game, saying that they lost their first 8 games of the season right away, and after that it was really hard to get out of that. He said, this is his own words: losing becomes a habit, that you lose so much, it just becomes like habitual. And that is something we need to worry about. But I would say this: the vast gulf of the offseason between the end of the NBA season with the Raptors and the new season coming up in the fall with training camp and all that, well, you can unlearn those bad habits of what's going on with this particular Raptors team at this point, with this losing streak currently that they're on. But yeah, the 905 season's over. And I don't know what's going to happen. Eric Curry also said that this is the most losing he's lost in his entire professional career, that he has not been used to this amount of losing that he did this season. Yeah, we're not used to it either, Eric. In a lot of ways, we're not used to it either. Yeah, it was a fantastic game. 905, it was close. It was back and forth. Motor City had one guy, Terrell, on the other side that was carrying them, who ended up with over 30 points, hitting a lot of shots, a lot of smack talking. A little bit of smack talk between Terrell and Noel. Noel playing last night. Marquise is a badass. I'm so happy that he got to come back and play these last 2 games. He was on a minutes restriction in the first game, but in this game last night, he got to play a bit more. He was playing 25 minutes last night. It wasn't as much as he probably could have. Now, Marquise didn't score a whole lot, but he did get a bunch of early assists. In fact, within the first 4 minutes of the game, Marquise had 4 assists right away. He was setting them up right away. This is kind of the Noel effect. He can really set up the team's chemistry and the vibe of the team to be conducive to playing more like a team and looking out for each other if he has the ability to set the table at the beginning as a starting point guard. I think that there's some talents about Marquise Noel that will translate to the NBA. A lot of people, I know I've talked about undersized people not belong in the NBA most of the time. But when you have an overwhelmingly good vision and talent for passing like Noel has, well, that's why Muggsy Bogues stayed in the league for so long, for like 10 years. And he had a very long NBA career, and he collected a lot of assists and steals. Well, Marquise has the same bag as Muggsy Bogues in a lot of ways. The same exact stuff that Muggsy was good at, well, Marquise has got. I would even argue that Noel may be a better shooter than Bogues. That Bogues was not necessarily a great jump shooter, but Marquise is a better jump shooter than him. But yeah, good job winning your last game. And it was a fan appreciation night at Paramount 5 Food Center. And we're just going to be an extension of that this morning. I am so proud of you 905 fans that went to the games this year. You guys sold out a lot of games. You showed up a lot. You were loud. Those school day games, the children there were so awesome. The energy was just awesome and perfect. And I appreciate everybody who went to 905 games this year. Everybody, season ticket holders, people that just went. You guys did a good job. Because listen, our team did not have a good record, and we had the best ticket sales in the G League out of the whole entire league. And that's amazing, honestly. There are some G League markets that do pretty good. Delaware Bluecoats have a good following in Delaware because that's the local group for them, for the Sixers G League team. The Maine Celtics actually do get a packed arena, but their arena is not very big. But there's not a lot to do in Maine, so people want to go to the Maine Celtics G League G League games. So there are a couple of arenas that you would think could compete with the 905 for attendance records for being the most ticket sales. I would even think, why wouldn't Mexico City do really well since they have a G League team? And that's a novelty down there. And if you want to go to any kind of NBA related basketball game, well, that's your best chance in Mexico is to go to the Mexico City G League team. But no, the team in Canada, the only G League team in Canada, led the ticket sales in the G League this year. And that is in a losing team, a team that was not totally attractive to go look at and watch, did this. I really do give a lot of credit to Courtney Charles and the people that run the promotions of that team. They really do a good job of making it attractive and putting all kinds of different kind of fun things, like different kinds of nights. You know, they have the different jerseys during the part of the month where they have all the fire, crazy, cool jerseys, special jerseys for 905. That's becoming a tradition with that team. And then there's just a lot of good promotions. There's a lot of good like stuff like you can get the table like Greg has, Gubtown's Cling. You get a season table for having at the end of this thing. There's different kinds of promotions to get more people into the building. It's been super successful. And that also the enthusiasm of that crowd out there is fantastic. I'm so proud of you, 905 promotions team and crowd who came to the game. You guys have done more than your share in your part this season. In fact, I think you guys are the MVPs. The fact that you had the fan appreciation night on the last night of the game, Miles Burns coming out and speaking to the crowd before the game and showing appreciation for the team, from the team to the crowd for showing up and supporting them so well. And afterwards, all the players stayed after and signed autographs for the fans in the concourse on the way out. Huge lineups for autographs to McCurr, Marquise Noel, Miles Burns, Daryl Morsell, and the rest. Good stuff, 905. The vibes are strong out there. And if anything, maybe we didn't get the good success with winning and losing with the team, you know, but the good vibes of building good fandom and good enthusiasm for the Raptors product, even at the 905 product, was very successful this year. So kudos to you, every single young person that went to a 905 game this year and maybe lost your voice a little bit. Maybe you got real loud and yelled defense relentlessly during the game that you went to. I'm proud of you, and you are my friend. You are my person, and I love you, and I hope that you will become a future Raptors fan that will do just the same down at the Scotiabank Arena too. Because we're going to develop players, develop coaches, develop announcers and referees and sideline reporters. We might as well develop our crowd out there too. Let's hit all the keys on the piano for development. Yeah, I love it. I love y'all so much. Really, this is a very true and honest Share the Love Club from me. They all are, but this one especially, because honestly, every single time I saw a game where there was a good crowd at 905, they were cheering right. And I'm proud of y'all. Really am proud of y'all. So yeah, let's see what y'all are talking about today. That's my general share the love. If you guys want to share any love for the 905 in any kind of way, it could be for the team, for certain players. If you want to share love for the crowd like I just did, you want to share love for anybody, just let me know and put it in the comments. We want to get your comments read today, every single one of them. Yeah, I really appreciate Luke Wynn going on the mic for most of the second quarter and talking about how he sees the whole thing that happened with 905 this season. He said that he did make some mistakes this season. I'm glad he owned up to this because I noticed when he made these mistakes and they were around in the fall, but he gave us the reason why. And it really was helpful, Luke, to understand why you did certain things with our roster when we didn't have enough players to play. We were losing a lot. We had a lot of injuries, and there was a lot of calling up to the Raptors in certain ways also at certain times and taking good players that were helping the 905. And that was it's really hard to steer the ship when the ground is changing underneath you constantly with the roster that you can put out on the floor. Now, he admitted that he earlier this season really valued players like Justice Winslow and Amari Moore that were hurt, that they were on the shelf. Now, normally 905 can be pretty cutthroat, G League in general, that if you're hurt, you could get cut and you're just done and you don't get a place. Well, Luke Wynn really liked Justice and he really liked Amari Moore, and he kept them on our team holding up spots even though they could not play. And that definitely did hurt us in the beginning of the season because we didn't have enough players to flesh out a team, but he was holding out for when they would come back. In some ways, that really paid off because Justice Winslow did come back and he was really helpful for us to try and get some wins in the middle of the season. Amari Moore came back and he showed an excellence and a promise and a talent that I felt like was worth waiting for too. But Luke Wynn did admit that maybe he did make a mistake by not having more flow through the roster when guys were hurt and waiting for them to come back. That kind of did stymie us and hurt us for having available healthy players when a couple of them were out. And we can't, it's not the same rules as the NBA. You got to have those guys on your roster, even if they're not playing. So, yeah, Luke Wynn, thanks for coming clean on that because that did bug me at the beginning of the season. I kept saying, why isn't Luke Wynn getting more players for us? Well, he explained why to me last night, and it's an acceptable answer for sure. Yeah, really interesting year of Eric Curry. I think Eric understands that this has been a weird year, and he doesn't know exactly what his future is. Darko got asked about him too yesterday in the practice interview for the Raptors at the OVO Center. He said that he looked at Eric Curry as a very hardworking guy who was very, very much involved, and he did a good job. And he's proud of the job that the 905 did this year. He didn't really tip his hat on whether the future of Eric Curry is to continue to coach the 905. I'm pretty sure it isn't. But, Darko was very happy with him. In fact, he described Eric as being a company man for the Raptors, who's somebody who's very important to Masai and somebody that will be probably still around our team in some sort of position. But he shouldn't. I don't think he should be a coach, though. That's the one thing I would say. I'll stand on that on my record of what I feel about Eric Curry coaching. And but we know that he's a valuable person in the organization. So don't expect Eric Curry to get the boot. He's probably going to be just moving his job title to another part of the organization. That's the feeling I'm getting from what Darko said yesterday at the Raptors practice, and kind of what Luke Wynn said also. I know Luke Wynn's friends with Eric, so in some ways he will keep him around and keep him in that spot for as long as he can. But I don't think it's under his control. I don't think it is. Luke Wynn's a weird guy. In some ways, I like him. I do really much like him. I can tell that, even though he was a journalist and he wrote for Sports Illustrated for years and years, that, this is a weird pet project. He became friends with Masai at some point, and Masai was like, you know what? You're smart. I bet you could run G League for me right now. And Luke Wynn's probably like, you know what? I never thought about doing that in my entire life. I thought I would just be a journalist writing articles. You know what, Masai? I might take you up on this new challenge. And he did. That's really kind of how it happened. It's kind of weird. Luke Wynn always interviewing Masai or talking to him as a reporter. And then, I guess they became friends and they had a relationship. And Masai was like, you know what? You're actually a really smart guy. I want you to work for me. I believe in you. That's kind of how that developed. I get the feeling. So, all right, let's see what y'all are saying. Share the Love Club. We got the fun stuff we do on a daily basis. The Cosmic Card of the Day is here, of course. And whatever kind of goofy stuff we're going to do. If you guys have a scout for me, put it in there. We'll do all the regular stuff. Maybe not very long stream today. Probably be about an hour. Not too long. This is off-season mode. We don't need to do Lexathons when there's no games to react or preview right now. There is a game to react to, and I will do my stars of the game for the final 905 game this season. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Trevor J is first in. He's saying, good morning, Raptors family. Happy Saturday and share the love. Share the love on this Easter weekend. Share the love to your loved ones and just your faith and your love. And just, just do good. Go out there and do good and smile and, be sunshine in somebody's life. That's what I would say. All right, Trevor J, I love to see you here. So let's do the Cosmic Card, Classic Card of the Day, commissioned by the Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J, of this channel. I love this game. This is actually one of my favorite news segments on this channel. The Wild Card Wednesday is going to be fun when we do those in the off season. That's going to be a whole pack and me going through. But the one card a day is very fun, and I really appreciate you, Trevor, commissioning the Classic Card of the Day. All right, let's see who's going to get it. Smooth Brown Man, are you in the house? Let's see what happens. Oh, let's see what we get. All right, I'm going to see who it is first, and I'll see how to attack putting this on the screen. Okay, this is a fun one. We'll see how you guys do. All right, it's coming up from the bottom. First one to write it in full name will get the points. All right, y'all know the rules. I don't have to keep going over them, do I? All right, it's coming from that side. You see where it is? All right, looks like a Milwaukee Bucks player. Does somebody know who that is already? He's got the ball. He's holding it. Who's that? It's a Milwaukee Bucks player, number 5. You guys know who that is? You know what? I wouldn't get this one if it was me. I would not get this one, guys. Let's see. Nobody's taken a guess yet. They don't know. Some ways he looks like a Baji, doesn't he? That's Giannis Antetokounmpo, Fiercey? No. No, that's not Giannis. I think he looks a little bit like a Baji. He's got the same shoulders and arms in some ways. But no, that's not Oshai. That's not. No, it's not Giannis. Who's that next to him? Is that Derrick Rose next to him? It looks like Derrick Rose too next to him. But yeah, only one guess so far. Nobody knows it. We're Smooth. Smooth doesn't know this. You know, this guy. All right, you guys want a clue? Is that what the problem is here? This guy was he was in the running for Roy, or did he win Roy? I think he was like there's something about him and Roy being the rookie of the year, but he wasn't. I don't remember. I feel like this is the guy who was close to getting it, but he didn't get it. I don't remember exactly. Let's see. Most writing about open gym. Come on, Mo. Guess the card. Guess the card. Who is that? Nobody knows it. I feel like Smooth Brown Man is not here today. Who is that, y'all? Y'all can't tell me who that is. You know what? If y'all don't get it soon, the price is going to go up 200 points if you don't get it. 200 points. The person who gets this is harder than I thought. Jabari O'Parker. Oh, yeah. All right. See, Smooth does know what he's doing. Yeah, of course, this is Michael Carter Williams. There you go. There's the answer on the back. Yes, of course. A Smooth Brown Man was waiting for me to up the ante, I guess. Yeah, you get 200. He's like, will he go 200 on that? I don't know. Don't use this as a tactic. No, that is Michael Carter Williams. You got it, my guy. That is Michael Carter Williams. You got it. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, Smooth. Thanks for bailing me out. I'm going to give you 200 because that was harder than I thought, you know. Henson, John Henson, Jim Henson, and the Muppets. Good to see you, James. Yeah, that is Michael Carter Williams. You got it. You got it, dude. Good job. All right, let's keep going with the chat. Dana's here. Good to see Canadian Dana. She said, good morning, everyone. I will be at the Raptors game on Sunday, too. Boo, Nick Nurse. So preemptively, I'm giving Nick Nurse my 2-finger salute. Let's go Raptors. There you go. Go to the game, Dana. You know, maybe work out a little bit today. You know, work your 2-finger salute, get it all warmed up. Yeah, and go down there. You know, I was thinking about this. You know, it's not really in our best interest to win, but wouldn't it be kind of fun if somehow, some way tomorrow we beat the Sixers and they didn't sweep us this year? Like, I'm kind of like that idea. You know, I know we're not supposed to win right now, and we really don't want to in a lot of ways. But if we did win one more game this season, if we somehow, some way figured out how to beat the Sixers tomorrow, that would be awesome. I would love that. In some ways, I think Darko's going to want to do that. Seriously, I know these guys aren't trying to lose right now. Seriously, they are just losing because it's just not adding up to winning. But man, if Darko can figure out a way to do this with who he's got, I mean, if IQ and RJ are available and they show up tomorrow, he's got a good shot. The Sixers have been losing a lot lately. In fact, I think they lost again last night, didn't they? They lost last night, didn't they? Who did they play last night? I'm pretty sure they did. I thought I saw that they played last night and they lost. Or they lost to Cleveland last night. So it's not like they're winning more games than they're losing. They probably think they're going to beat us for sure. But hey, can we not get swept by Nick Nurse and the Sixers this year? Maybe we can get that win. I don't know. Adriana's going to the game tomorrow too with Wendy. And they're good luck. I'm not going to lie. When Wendy and Adriana are around, they could be very much good luck for the Raptors. So hopefully Adriana going down the game will help the Raptors win, and Dana too. So y'all come down there with that energy, and hopefully we can beat them. I'm okay with beating the Sixers tomorrow. I really want to beat the Sixers. I meant beating Nick and the Sixers. I said Knicks. Yeah, beating Nick and the Sixers. Yeah. Trevor's saying Victor 40-point takedown, Brunson 61 points, and the Knicks. That's interesting that the Spurs ended up beating the Knicks last night. I love it. That's fantastic. Good job, Popovich. Good job, Victor. And yeah, don't get all high mighty, Knicks fans. You were all high mighty after your win over Toronto the other night. Well, Spurs knocked you down a peg there, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Let's see. Trevor's saying Dennis beat the Bulls. He had 27 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. You go, Dennis Schroeder, one of my favorite Raptors of all time. You go, Dennis. I know he only played for half this season, but he's a FIBA World Cup MVP, and he's an awesome person in my book. And yeah, go on and beat the Bulls, Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, and he's saying the defending champions Denver's lose to the Timberwolves. Yeah, there's a lot of games that are shook up right now. I feel like this season, most of the games in the NBA this year, the favorites have won. It's like you go into the matchups on any given night and okay, yeah, the better team, Boston's going to beat this team. Denver's going to beat this team. You always see these kinds of things. The NBA used to have more variance of like bad teams coming up and beating good teams from time to time, but not this year. It's really held strong to the pattern of like the good teams have just beaten the bad teams a lot. But lately, there's games that have had surprises with the outcomes, whether it's Atlanta beating Boston twice in the last week, or things like what we're talking about right here, where like Denver just lost the Wolves, things like this. I like the difference. I like it when it's not so set in stone. You're going in the games, and yeah, this team's the better team than the other team. They're probably going to win. And yeah, that's just what happens. There's no drama in that. So when there are teams that aren't supposed to win, that come up and win games, that's when the NBA is better, honestly, Adam Silver. So if you want to try and manipulate and control things too much, well, that's what you're going to get. The other thing that I don't like, we like it when it's chaos. We like it when it's all over the place, and we like it when any team can win on any given night and that the script's not already written by the referees and Adam Silver. So I'm all about this. I love seeing teams that aren't supposed to win games come up and win games like they did last night. Trevor J saying Pascal's rocking up a lot of double doubles. He had another one last night, defeat the Lakers. Yeah, I love Siakam. Siakam's amazing. He's smiling so much since he's been on the Pacers. In some ways, that makes me sad that he couldn't smile more in the first half of the season when he was with us. But it was just all weird. And it's not like it's because it was Toronto and he hated it here. It's just he was in an uncomfortable position of in between, and he needed to get it to the other side. And while he got the other side, he can smile more when he's in the blue and yellow of the Indiana Pacers jersey. And in some ways, I can't hate that. Siakam, you go on and keep doing what you're doing. Y'all win. Rick Carlisle's a great coach. That's a great team. And I want y'all to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and win and go to the finals. I'm rooting for y'all, Indiana. You're my favorite team in the East right now. And a lot of it has to do with Spicy P. I will say that right now. Yeah, Fiercey is here. Good morning, family, and happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, Fiercey Salsera, holding it down in the capital region of Ottawa for the Raptor Freak family. We love you, Fiercey, and I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday morning so far. Share the love for Fiercey Salsera on a Share the Love Club Saturday. That's right. James is here. Good to see James. James, a great contributor to the Raptor Freaks channel. He's been having great questions in the last couple months and just a fantastic person just coming in and giving his contributions. We appreciate you, James. Let's see. Do you think our 2019 championship team beat the Nuggets last year? Have we matched up with them? How will we do? Well, I would say this. I feel like our championship team versus the Nuggets championship team would win because we have more talent and skill deeper into the bench. The Nuggets are an interesting team. They have a very overwhelmingly top player in the league in Nikola Jokic. And then they got Jamal Murray. He's a great scorer also. If you put them all down in a row on their roster going down against our 2019 Toronto Raptors champion team, you'll find that our depth is way better than theirs. If you start hitting people like Bruce Brown on their depth chart from last year, and you start hitting people on our side with like Serge Ibaka and Fred VanVleet off the bench, you realize we had way more talent burgeoning up, obviously, because you see the path of Fred, OG, and Norman and people like that afterwards. So I would say our team was much more talented. Our team was probably better because Kawhi's on it too. And yeah, we would probably kick their ass. I say the Nuggets are the best team right now, but this is the way things have changed. In some ways, the league is going to be different because the building of like a concentration of such good talent is not going to be allowed because of the new salary cap rules. And the way you got to build your team to be a champion is more like the Nuggets at this point. The Raptors championship team may be one of the last teams where you could kind of do that. But see, we didn't do it like the other teams. We were getting the guys on their way up, and they were getting to get paid next, like Fred and Pascal and those guys. You know, you have those guys young, and they're coming up, and they're added to established guys like Lowry, Ibaka, Gasol, and Leonard. You know, that was the secret to us. We had a really deep, badass team because these guys hadn't arrived yet, and they were just about to arrive coming up. Fred, Pascal, those guys. So I think that we would beat them. Yeah, I think we would. I think with Nick as the coach also and everything that we had in that year against that team, yeah, we would beat them. I think we would beat most teams in the NBA's history, honestly. Some people would say you're crazy, Lex, but you don't understand the 12 people we had playing for the Raptors in 2019 and just how good they were. They really were that good. We had to go against the whole machine of the NBA and beat it, and we did. So that says something right there. Let's see. Monique's saying, "Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Superfan Mo. Yeah, I love your shout out on Raptors tonight the other night. I went back and watched it, and I love that Randy said that. Superfan Mo, happy to say hello to you, and everybody was like, yeah, and cheering you on. Also, I love that. Good stuff. They need to recognize the Superfan Mo, Monique Lawrence, more often on Raptors tonight. I recognize you every day on my stream. Why wouldn't they do that on that stream? That's what I would say. That's right. We love you, Mo. You are definitely a leader in our group, and we love you so much. Chris is saying, which singer tried out for an NFL? Okay, he's got his music trivia right away. I love this. All right. Which singer tried out for an NFL team while making the best soul album of all time? Wow. This seems really tough. All right, let me think about this. So it's got to be somebody who's like big who could probably like play. It's got to be somebody who's got some football size to him. And I got to think about soul singers that could sing that are also very big people. I'm wondering if this is somebody like Barry White or Luther Vandross. Because like those are the two that make me think of that. You know who I think it is though? I think it's this person. And the reason why I think it's this person is because back in the day, this guy was in movies with Jim Brown, and this guy was totally an actor, but he was a big guy too. And he's not thought of a lot. Is it Isaac Hayes? Well, I want to maybe guess it's Isaac Hayes, that it's the voice of Chef from South Park. Also, the great Isaac Hayes, Truck Turner from the old movies in the 70s. Is it Isaac Hayes? I'm going to guess that. That's my educated guess, Chris. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to guess it's Isaac Hayes. And I may be completely wrong. I think that's who it is, though. It could be. All right, we'll find out when we get to that part in the chat. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Dap. I can't wait for Sunday night. Have fun at the game, Dana, and throw 2 more salutes from me. Let's go. Cowboy wants his 2-finger salutes added to your barrage coming at them. And I would like you to throw some in there for me, too. I'd like the 6-pack package. So get 3 shots of 2 in there for me also. Can we write this down like Girl Scout cookie orders right here for Dana? We need everybody's 2-finger salutes orders fulfilled, Dana. So she might have her fingers up a lot. Now, I will caution you, Dana. You can't do that during the game. They will throw you out at this point. They're saying any obscene gestures are grounds to get thrown out. If you're cussing, yelling the F-bombs all over the place, they'll throw you out. And if they see you doing like the 1-finger salutes, they might ask you to leave. They're getting really kind of controlling about like profanity and non-friendly environment behavior. You want family environment kind of stuff. And that's kind of what it is. So even though we're joking about this, and maybe you will throw one in there when nobody's looking, don't do it too much because you may get in trouble, seriously. And I don't want you to get in trouble at the arena and have to leave the game. Chris is saying, I love the 905 as they gave us JFL. Chris is JFL stand. He's gonna do this it's not that it bugs me, honestly. I love his love for JFL. It's all good. Yeah, Eric Curry's very proud of the guys coming up. Now they're trying to brag that the 905 had the second most call-ups to the NBA this season, and that's technically true. But in some ways, I don't count it because we're calling guys up right now, partly for what we're trying to do with the Raptors and losing. And some of these guys would not have been called up if it wasn't for the case of what we're doing currently right now. Like, I love the fact that we have the second most call-ups out of all the G League teams, but think about our record. And really, is that true? Like, is that a true indicator? No, I think it's really just because we're sending them up right now. People like Moji and Kobe Simmons and Jafon Freeman Liberty. So, but that is something I guess we should be kind of proud of, but I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, let's keep going. Nako's saying the 2019 championship team in 6 against the Nuggets because of the smothering defense. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I also think that Kawhi's just someone you can't stop. I don't think you can stop him at all. I think that he is very, very dangerous, and you just can't. He's just impossible to stop. So there's a lot of different reasons. I think in some ways Gasol would negate Joker in some ways. In some ways, Gasol is the predecessor to Jokic. They're very similar players in some ways. And if Jokic is trying to do funny stuff, Gasol probably knows all of his tricks. And we know Gasol was a huge defensive person for us in the championship run. What his work on Embiid was masterful. So if he's going to be able to do what he did to Joel in the Eastern Conference semifinals, He'd probably be able to do some good stuff towards Jokic also. And then you got to think about Murray. Murray is their most important weapon after that. Well, we got guys who could tie him up really good. In fact, I wouldn't even say Kawhi. Of course, Kawhi is going to be able to guard him pretty well. They're teammates now and very good friends. No, wait, Norman and Kawhi could probably tie up Murray pretty good because they're those kind of defensive guys. So it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I like the exercise of it. I don't feel like it's a dumb thing to do. I think it's a fun question that James asked, and I enjoy this question. It's a very good question. Let's see. All right, yeah, you guys are good in the answers. Monique's bringing up the new Open Gym episode that dropped yesterday. Thank you, Monique, for the cue card. She wants a longer episode. I do too. These 10-minute episodes just ain't cutting it, Jeff Landicino. These just aren't. These aren't, man. Whoever's doing Open Gym, y'all need to get a budget bigger. I know it's tough. I mean, we love the half-hour stuff. Maybe you guys think, oh, the attention spans are so short. Nobody wants to watch something for a half an hour at this point. No, that's bullshit. If y'all could make it a half-hour clip, then you could make them into a TV show, and we can show this on NBA TV as a marathon, Open Gym marathons, because the episodes all fit their TV format. In some ways you want that. Or you can make like 3 10-minute episodes and make one episode every 3 episodes or something. Yeah, you could do that. But yeah, it's annoying. Like even the Raptors Today stuff with Akil Augustine, everything is 4 minutes now. I think it's almost like they're trying to show me up. They're like, Lex, what you do on your channel can be done in under 5 minutes in our previews for the games on Raptors Today. And I'm like, yeah, but are you really doing as much as I am? No, you're not. And maybe, yeah, nobody wants to watch 3 hours of Lex every day, except for a very special few like you guys. But I still think that's too little. They shortened the Raptors Today clips to like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And, the Open Gym episodes are definitely too short. I love this new episode, Monique. It's really nice to see more about Carmen Dick and Carmen Jaspers. And very cool to see her playing career, to see the footage of when she played at Iowa State and the really cool stuff about her story and like what they used to play really weird half court game where they had 6 people on their team, 3 forwards and 3 guards. And the 3 guards would play one half and the 3 forwards played the offensive half. It's crazy. And she said when she played on the offensive end, she was unstoppable. They couldn't stop her. And so she could get like 50 points like it was nothing. She's definitely an inside player. She's definitely a pivot. She's definitely a center. And like Grady said, he can't stop her on the inside. She's going to just score on him. But it's fun to see them play pig. They were playing pig, the shortened form of horse, and taking the shots. They didn't really show who was winning or anything like that, but that's cool. But I love that episode showing the love of Grady and his mom and his mom's story and talking about their family and like their family dynamic and just how important family is in Grady's family. That Carmen's most proud achievement is her family. And just how it is and just how tight they are and just the way they run their family is really, really, really good. I love that. That's the foundation and the lift that gives Grady the great push up and momentum in his career to be more successful. I love that she's very diehard Raptors already. See, that's cool, man. And in some ways, I love it when people that I wouldn't think would, there are probably people that never think they would be Raptors fans, but when they get into it because of their son being on the team, and they just really go with it. I mean, I know Ellen was the same way when Dennis was playing for us, but of course they had to switch to the Brooklyn colors in the middle of the season. But I love that allegiance when your loved one plays for our team, how they get behind the team also. Yeah, great Open Gym episode. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't too much. It was just enough. And it really did teach us more about Carmen and her backstory and the relationship between her and Grady. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Nakos, yeah, that's a shot in the dark. Yeah, good job, though, Smooth getting Michael Carter Williams. Very, very good. That was a pure guess. Well, the guess was right. Educated guess by our guy Smooth. The king of the classic card. The king of the classic card is definitely Smooth Brown Man. And that is definitely Michael Carter Williams. You can see it on the bottom there. Yeah. Yeah, he was like a rookie of the year candidate, wasn't he? Like he was like really good in his beginning of his career. And he kind of was a flash in the pan. He kind of was really good right away. And then he kind of went away after a very early success in his NBA career. It's very interesting. Let's see. Michael Beasley. That's an interesting guess. That wasn't that bad. Nako's saying, we watched Donovan Clingan yet? All right, let's do that. You want me to do a scout knocko? You got it, Gerald, my guy. Gerald, I'm going to be less busy when the Raptors season's over. You need to come and hang out with me sometime soon, my guy. Seriously. All right, let's see. Donovan Klingham. I don't know. That's an interesting name. Let's see. That makes me think of something that you need to wipe. Anyway, let's see. That's not a nice joke, Lex. Shut up. All right, Donovan Klingham is a 20-year-old from uh, the Yukon Huskies. Okay, so he's playing currently in the tournament. I'm not watching the tournament, y'all. So this scout is totally blind. You guys may be like, well, why? Well, you should have seen this guy. They're winning a lot and doing very well. I've heard that Yukon's doing very well in the tournament, but I have not watched any of the games. I swear I have not. I do not know any of these players when I scout them. This is very much a blind scout, guys. And that's part of the fun of me doing this. It's kind of like people doing music reactions when they hear a new song you haven't heard. That's kind of what we're getting from this new segment, which I kind of like. So this guy grew up in Bristol. Oh man, you know what? He's already got an in with ESPN, obviously, because he's from Bristol, Connecticut. Wow, wow. Okay, so he was an NCAA champion last year. Also, he's 7'2". What the hell? Okay, he is a center, 280. He looked like a guard in his picture, but he's actually 7'2". All right, let's go look at a scout. I'm sure maybe I'll get a tournament game from looking at Donovan Klingham because it probably is that he has like a tournament game highlight at the top. Let's see. That's last year's tournament. I don't want to look at that. Let's look at his tournament. All right, we'll look at his Yukon highlights from this year, 2020. We got Klingon. Klingon is the center for Yukon. He had second effort there in the lane. He looks a little let me see how he runs. Oh, okay. He's got Zach Edey kind of slowness, I think, to him too. If they're going to say Zach has this, they're going to have to say this guy's got the same issues. All right, let's see. He's coming up the court. He gets the pass. He passes it back to his point guard. He's running up. What's he going to do? How's he set up? Oh, wait, there he is. Okay, he's in the center. He puts a little half pick, comes around. He's setting up in the post. He's calling for the ball. He's kind of got his guy under control behind him. They're really taking their time getting it to him. He's fighting for a position in the middle. They passed it around like 3 times before they gave it to him. Okay, a couple dribbles. He's backing him down. He goes up and over him. All right, what I'm going to say right now, Gerald, is that move will not work in the NBA because he's not strong enough. If he's going to try and muscle people down with his ass, he won't be successful. So that's not transferable right now. Now, if he gets more weight on him and he's stronger, he may be able to do it, but I don't see him being able to do that move in the NBA. Now, right now, as of things. All right, see, that's what he's doing. He's a power player. He likes to back down with physicality to get his room. Now, he doesn't look that athletic. I'm going to say that right now. The guy you guys asked me to look at the other day, Kal-El Ware, way more athletic guy that has a lot more like kind of gifts. This guy is just really big. And he does have a limited range. I can already tell. He's only good from 10 feet in. I don't think he's a good outside shooter. At least none of the highlights have shown that yet. Everything he's shot has been right near the basket. And a lot of it has been easy shots. And partly he's bumping people off to get his shot. It's not that he's doing finesse. So in some ways, that physicalness will not translate, Nako, is what I'm going to tell you right now. This guy's going to be a good tournament center, but I don't think he's a good tournament. He's not a good center in the NBA, possibly. Now, the knocks I'm giving him, some people will say, well, you could say all the same things about Zach Edey. But I'm just saying, Zach, in some ways, I know better, and I've seen him do more. This guy is very limited from what I can see. He may be dominant near the basket, but he really has to have room for himself. Then he makes that room by being physical and knocking people away from him. I'm not big on this guy. I think that this guy's going to do really well like he is doing right now in the tournament, and he may get drafted by somebody. But if we're going to get a player like this, we better just get Zach. I have a lot more trust in Zach. In fact, I have not seen this guy take a shot outside of 10 feet yet in this clip. And that's a big, big problem in the NBA. Zach at least could go mid-range and maybe even in the inside of the three-point shot. But this guy has not taken a shot anywhere far away from the basket in this whole entire clip. So I'm going to pass on Klingham. He looks like a good tournament player, and I'm sure he's dominating the tournament right now and the things he's doing. But everything he has is right up close to the basket, and I don't necessarily like that. I don't like that. So, yeah, there's my scout on Donovan Klingham of the Connecticut Huskies, who's kicking ass in the tournament right now. But yeah, nah. If we're going to get a guy like that, we might as well just get Zach. Might as well just get Zach. I think Zach's faster than that guy, honestly. That guy looks slower than Zach. Let's just put it that way. Tom's saying, good morning. Hope everyone is enjoying Easter. Good morning to you, Tom. And I hope that the Duke family and everybody in your life, your friends, family, your co-workers, your workers, are all having a great Easter weekend, Tom. And yes, I know Tom is a very passionate faith. And this is a very important weekend to Tom. And I hope that everybody gets to go to church tomorrow and has a very nice family dinner. I know my family in Atlanta is going to have a nice dinner together down there. And that'll be very nice for Easter. Yeah. Nameless is saying, can you believe the Sixers are nearly 500 after their blazing hot start? I love this. Nameless, I'm going to give you a dunk for just bringing this up to me. Thank you, Nameless, for a little sunshine on this Saturday morning. Yeah, I you got a Michael Jordan 23, my guy. You're a Michael Jordan 23. You know what? I can't either. I mean, it really did take Joel getting hurt. If Joel had not gotten hurt, they'd be right up near the top this whole time. But that's the balance of it, Nick Nurse. You went and got greedy with playing Joel on his knee, and you paid for it. And you guys have paid for it dearly. Yeah, it could have been you guys could have gotten him all the way to this part of the season. He just had the problem now. In some ways, the earlier may be better because he'll rest up and maybe you will get something out of him in the postseason. But I could have seen that happening too. If Joel had not gotten hurt and he was still playing right now, I would say he's probably going to get hurt still by the end of the season. And the timing of that would have been much worse than the way when he went down this season, actually. So yeah, I can believe this partly because Joel went down a long time ago and they've been suffering since. Yeah, Nameless, hey, it's awesome. I'm not upset about this. Nick Nurse, listen, some people will say that we did you wrong, but we know the truth on the Raptor Freak channel. And in some ways, you get what you get, Nick Nurse, is what I say right there. Yes, Sixers fan, I did say that. You get what you get. Nako saying, my plan for Easter is watching Game of Thrones for the first time. Well, that does kind of seem like an Easter thing to kind of do. Watch Game of Thrones. You're going to try and watch that whole thing through on Sunday? Holy crap, Gerald. That is an odyssey. That is quite a story. Let me put it that way. I got through the first season and I was in the second season. And the person I was seeing that I watched it with, we broke up. So I just never watched it again. So I'm kind of like, I got to the point where the little guy was on the little prison cell on the edge of the cliff. And that's when I stopped watching. I never watched Game of Thrones after that. It's really stupid. I should probably go back and watch it. But I don't really feel the need to. I don't know why. I get this, that they have some sort of weird, crazy ending with like a massacre or something. I don't know. Either way, maybe I spoiled it for Nako. Have a great Easter watching Game of Thrones. That seems like it makes sense, I guess. Dana's saying, Cowboy, I got you. I'll throw up 2 for you as well. Yeah, maybe do them the Kyle Lowry way, Dana. Like get your shirt and do it underneath like this, just to be careful. Yeah, Kyle Lowry throwing birds at people in his Sixers jersey on to Miami Heat players when they played the Heat the other day. Kyle Lowry shooting birds at Bam Adebayo under his jersey. he's like doing this, like, and everybody's like, "What do you think he's doing? What do you think he's doing?" There's pictures of Kyle Lowry shooting birds on his jersey. That might be how you need to do it, Dana. Do it like our Groat. Take the leadership from old Kalo and start throwing the birds under your shirt just so nobody sees you actually do it. And then they can't throw you out for that. That's in some ways, Kyle Lowry just showed us the way of covert one finger salutes. That's right. I love it. All right, let's see. Monique is saying, I finally watched that interview with Michael Porter Jr. on Jonte. Yeah. Do you believe Michael Porter? Does he seem like a very reliable, honest person? Man, I'm really disappointed in Jonte. I really am. I know he's guilty. I wish I felt like he wasn't. I'm Raptor stan. I want to defend the guy, but I'm pretty sure he's guilty. And it really is because of the logic I figured out from Darko's interview the other day. Darko incriminated him by accident. He basically said, I would take my players out when they asked me to go out, and I don't question why they asked me to go out. Well, Woj said if Jonte was the one who said he wanted to go out, he's probably guilty. And, well, Darko already said he's the one who asked to go out. So that's bad. That is very, very bad. Very, 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 very bad. Wayne saying, Jonte, this season is indescribable. That's a true story of stupidity. You know, there's a rumor, like Chev is saying, or somebody was saying on Twitter yesterday, that Jonte was making $2 million a month betting on bets on the side during the season. That there's the speculation that he was making an extra $2 million on the side through his sports bets. Yeah, he's fucked. He is so fucked. If that is true and he was making that kind of amount of money on the side, it is definitely wrong. And he's in big trouble. He is in big, big trouble. He is the Donaghy as a player. He is the Donaghy as a player. That's probably what's going to happen. I can't believe that. Like this man's trying to make that kind of money. It's crazy. Greed will get you. It's the root of all evil. His brother said it himself. His money is the root of all evil. Michael Porter Jr., you said that. Well, your brother should have listened. Your brother should have understood that. Isaac saying happy Easter weekend. Happy Easter weekend to the benevolent Isaac Campbell, also holding it down in the capital region of Canada and the Ottawa region. We love you, Isaac. Another great contributor to this channel over the years. Somebody that I have immense respect for, and I was so proud and happy to meet last year when he came to Toronto during that great trip last year. That was awesome. Name was saying, Nako, I'm jealous. Wish I was in that position to do all over again. Just stick it out past the first season. Yeah. Yeah, do it how you got to do it. And Nameless wish he could feel it all over again originally and like get the twists and turns without knowing all that's going to happen. Yeah, yeah. Good to see you, Paisano. Always. Yeah. Smooth saying go Pacers. I'm all about that. That's right. I'm just like Boomer, the Pacer, that mascot now. I'm rooting for y'all. Rick Carlisle is an awesome coach. I have a lot of respect for him. There's a lot of players on the Pacers team that are likable to me, and I'd like to see them have success. Jalen Smith, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Of course, our guys, Ben Mathurin and Andrew Nebhart. Of course, our Canadian guys. We love all those guys. The Pacers are a very likable team. And yeah, I want to see them have success. They may have some deficiencies that will hurt them getting far in the playoffs, but I'd like to see those get overlooked and their strengths get overwhelmingly strong so they win games. We've seen the Pacers when they're offensively going right. The three-pointers, Halliburton's fully healthy, and he's at his best. Yeah, they're a good team to kick ass. Now, the Raptors ended up beating them in a game this year, which was awesome. A very close 1-point win. Yeah, I want to see the Pacers do really, really well this year. That's right. Now I'll go saying that Nameless. I'm on that final episode of season 1. Poor Ned. Okay, so he's already moving on it. Yeah, I was going to say, you're not going to be able to watch all of it tomorrow. You better get started. Nameless saying, oh, buckle up, Nako, but now the show has started. Yeah, maybe I need to go back and check it out. I don't know. I have a lot of other things that I got to do that are more important right now. And binge watching Game of Thrones just may not be on the list. Let's see. Mo's saying, great article on Jordy by S. Check it out. Yeah, I like Jordy Fernandez. I saw kind of the cliff notes on that article. I didn't go read it. Saying things like, Jordy is the best possible coach for Team Canada right now, that they really do believe that this is the best guy to be in that spot. And part of it is also that Jordy isn't necessarily always happy with the team. He gets mad and he makes them do hard stuff because he's like trying to really get them to be better and better and better. So he's a tough coach on them. And that's rightfully so, because the Team Canada team has an extreme talent with guys like SGA on it. Jordy should push them and make them like not so comfortable and see what kind of results he can get. If he's just like cushy and saying, hey guys, come show up and we're going to have a nice time. Let's just have a fun time as a glorified all-star team for Canada. No, he's making it hard for them. He's challenging them. And it's not totally a positive experience because he's being very critical and hard on them. And I like that about Jordy Fernandez. And I think it will get good results out of people like Gilgeous-Alexander, Olenek, and Barrett, and all those guys. Yeah, I like that. I didn't read the article myself, but if people want to go read it, go read it. Go read it. Yeah. Wayne's saying Fred Williamson. Fred Williamson. That is the voice. Is that the person? If he could sing, Fred Williamson. I remember that name. Let's see. I want to know if I'm right, Chris. You better tell me. Let's see. The next one is on the list, Canadian Cowboy. Niagara Falls is expecting around 1 million people next week because of the eclipse. Well, this is interesting. I didn't even know about an eclipse or this. They're expecting 1 million people to converge on Niagara Falls, Canada. Wow, those tourist traps are going to be booming. Their crazy ass expensive big Burger King's going to be making major money. And the Wax Museum, yeah, there are going to be people in there looking at the waxes and get going up in the towers and riding all the rides and stuff. Well, hey, good business will be booming for them. So there's an eclipse coming up. Oh, interesting. Cool. All right, MSJ saying Marvin Gaye. Know the album at least? Wait, wait a second. So all right, you got to write it out. The answer is Marvin Gaye, because I don't know if you were just writing in the name Marvin Gaye. You really have to baby me, Chris. And don't expect me to just understand what you're saying when you're saying it. Write it out. Say the answer was Marvin Gaye. So the answer is Marvin Gaye. That's cool. He must have played like receiver or something like that because he's not like a big dude. He's not a big dude, but I could see this maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about Marvin Gaye in some ways to know that he was like could have been a football player. What are you saying? Know the album at least. What do you mean? See, that's the thing. Your questions don't make any sense to me. You're asking me which soul singer played in the could have tried it out for the NFL. You didn't say anything about an album, so I don't know what you're talking about. What album? What do you mean, man? If you're gonna do music trivia, you need to run it better. When I do the Raptors trivia, I have to organize it so it makes sense and it's clear to you guys what I'm doing. So if you're gonna do trivia to me, you better get your trivia host skills honed up because you're not making sense to me. Just make it very babying me. The question today is, Lex, here you go. Don't just write in a question without telling me this is your music question. Format it for me. And then format the answer, please, Chris. If you want to do this continuing with me, I'm not going to want you to do it if you're going to do it haphazard and half-assed. You need to write it out completely and say the answer to the music trivia is this. This is the music trivia for today. Because if you don't, it's you make it harder for me to make it through the stream in this kind of way. Because this comment, I don't know what you mean, and I'm not gonna do like, do you know which album? Please, at least I don't know what the criteria is. What do you mean? Know the album at least? What is the criteria? What's the question about the album? You never asked me about an album. Don't be a trivia host, so you don't do it right. That's what I'm gonna say. Most saying emotional practice interview with RJ. We were always with the Barrett family. Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Monique. MVP once again. Monique, thank you for bringing this up. I probably might have forgot to talk about RJ's first interview with the public yesterday. Finally talking about the death of his brother with the press. And I'm mad at the press, honestly. There were 2 interviews with Darko and RJ yesterday that absolutely pissed me off. Insensitivity from people like Michael Grange, Doug Smith, and the rest of those guys down there. You know, why do you want to do this to RJ? There's literally a question that Michael Grange asked him. He said, walk me through the whole process of how your brother died. Is that really considerate, Michael Grange? Like, do we really need to make RJ relive it all in the moment right now just for you, shits and giggles, on the media podium with y'all fucking interviewing him at practice? It's insensitive. It's inconsiderate. It's not respectful of someone who's grieving at this moment. It's just like, tell me the whole thing, how it went, how your life went through the whole thing. It's like, well, I found out, I got on a plane from Denver, left the team, and thank God I was able to be there with him when he died. And, you know, it's just really insensitive. Some of the questions they were asking Darko and RJ yesterday were absolutely asshole questions, and the press are pieces of shit once again. The question that they asked Darko about, this year has been very difficult with your friend dying and now RJ's brother dying and all this stuff. And they almost made Darko tear up right in the middle of the interview because there's like, yeah, go ahead and throw this tragedies and this sadness from these people passing on in these guys' faces, these people that they love. You fucking insensitive little shit on our Raptors press corps. You guys fucking suck. I hate y'all for so many different reasons. And the insensitivity and inconsiderateness that you showed towards RJ Barrett and Darko Rajakovic in your interviews yesterday, trying to get quotes or stories or whatever the fuck you're doing, is wrong. If you care that these people are human beings, you attack your questions a little bit more sensitive to the grieving process of losing people you love. And you didn't do that. You didn't do that, you fuck faces, and fuck you for it, Michael Grange, Doug Smith, specifically you two and other ones. I'll point out who did it. I will say who the fuck faces are. And yeah, y'all need to be a little bit more bedside manner and kind of read the room kind of shit that these guys have lost people they very much care about. And your questions should be a little bit more sensitive to that. I'm not saying don't ask them about this, but you can word things better. And maybe even say something, I'm so sorry that this happened or something like that. Like pre-head it with that and say, can you please tell us if you feel like it? If you feel like you're okay with telling us, could you please tell us about what happened when Nathan died? You know, in some ways, it's none of your fucking business, Grange. It's none of your fucking business, Doug Smith, to ask RJ Barrett about the death of his brother and how it all went down blow by blow. So if you are going to try and get those answers, do it in a sensitive way that's respectful of the young man, is what I would say. One of the things Darko said yesterday is the whole entire organization went to Nathan Barrett's funeral. That's classy. As Monique said, this is a tight knit organization. What do you expect, Lex? You're right, Monique. I should have expected that. But what I will say is sometimes these are small gatherings. Sometimes they don't want a whole big bunch of people. And to have the whole Raptors team, all of the front office, and all the coaches there, that's a lot to accommodate. But they could, and they wanted them there. And it was very special and meant a lot to RJ that the whole entire organization was there. In fact, he said the Raptors have been amazing in this whole thing as far as how they've looked out for him and have been supportive and giving him whatever he needs, whether it's space, time, them being there for him. It's all been there for him. So kudos to Masai, Bobby, Coach Darko, and the rest of them, Scotty, and all you guys. If you were there at RJ's brother's funeral, you guys are awesome, showing such support for your teammate and your friend RJ. Yeah. So thank you, Mo, for bringing up that aspect. This is definitely a topic I wanted to talk about today. The interviews and finding out that the whole organization was at Nathan Barrett's funeral. Class act right there. Wayne saying call-up stat narrative versus is pathetic. It's actually quite deceitful in light of the injury scenario and lack of positive outcomes this season. There's nothing to brag or celebrate. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what we're talking about here. Are you talking about call up stat narrative? Oh, the thing about the 905 coming up. Yeah. I thought that it was kind of hollow and stupid that they were saying that. I mean, in some ways, we manufactured that by calling up our own guys. In some ways, the G League call ups are more make sense when they're called up from other teams to other teams. Like if our guys were getting taken up on other NBA teams this whole season, it would make more sense. So yeah, I'm kind of with Wayne on this. In some ways, listen, Eric Curry and Luke Wynn are going to try and put some sort of successes from this year on blast. And they're trying to say the Grady Dick story this year is one of the success stories of 905. And then there have been a lot of call-ups. But I agree with you, Wayne. That call-up one is full of shit. It's absolutely full of shit that they want to use that as one of the success stories for this year. It honestly is. Name is saying, Grady, you have to cut ties with your damn mama, bro. You're 20 years old. It's time to cut the cord and create your own lane and identity. I don't want to see your mom anymore. It was cute at first. I'm not with you on this, Nameless. And I'll tell you why. Because Grady's mom, first of all, he has cut ties with her a lot more than you think. In fact, more than she wanted. She wanted him to stay at Kansas. We found out in the Open Gym episode that she expected him to be there for like 2 more years. And I agree with her. I still agree with this. I still feel like Grady came out too early. But she said he wants his dreams, and she don't want to get in between him and getting his dream to be in the NBA. So she lets him run his life. So if anything, Nameless, that shows you that Grady has autonomy over his life decisions beyond his mom. If his mom had had her way, he'd still be playing for Kansas right now. So, and the other thing you've got to understand, she doesn't live here in Canada. She's not staying here in Toronto. They are seeing him when they can on the road and traveling, and maybe they show up at games. Maybe they come up to Toronto to hang out, but she still lives in Kansas, and he is living here by himself. So he is very much a man on his own. But this is the thing, it's important, Nameless. Grady has a great basis and foundation in faith and family. And that is going to guide him in a right way in an NBA life that can be perilous with a lot of fucked up shit that you could fall into. So in some ways, I'm glad he has a very close relationship with his parents, and because they will help guide him from the pitfalls that an NBA player can fall into in their life. Now, in some ways, I'm glad he's not living with his mother here in Toronto, and they can be his own man and grow in that kind of way. I understand what you're trying to say, but I think that the Dick family is very smart with the balance they have between her involvement in his life and his professional life now, and just enough so that they can still be there and guidance and support for him, but they're not right up his butt all around him all the time, just so you know, Nameless. So that I want to make sure that you understand this. And Grady's his own man. If he was not his own man, he would be in Kansas still. He would not be in the NBA. He made that decision himself, and his mom had to go with it. Name is saying, I don't want people to watch and see you play and think of your damn mama, bro. Come out here, shadow next season, please. What's wrong with that, Nameless? There's nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. He's the baby boy, too. He's the youngest in his family. And he is the dude now because he's an NBA player and he makes millions. There's been mothers around teams a lot in the past. Now, if this was a Vince Carter, Michelle Carter situation, yeah, I'd be a little like you are. Kyle Lowry's mother, all about the team and coming to the games and being at Scotiabank Arena. Was that ever a problem? No. So this isn't a problem either. In some ways, Carmen Dick's getting more attention because of her professional career before, and it's a great story. If she didn't play and wasn't playing in Japan or like a great scorer at Iowa State, we wouldn't talk about her. It would be like any other player's mom that's just normal and ordinary. It's because she has a playing career. She's getting more spotlight. And it's special in some ways. In some ways, it's part of the whole new era of like women's basketball getting more in the spotlight. Is like, well, here's a great example of a young NBA player whose mother is the basketball player that taught him and made him who he is. So it's in vogue for a lot of reasons. And also, it's a great story. You're not going to hear about every player's mom because they don't play. So this is part of the reason why you know a lot about Grady's mom and understand they have a good balance. In some ways, what you're worried about is something that I'm sure they went over very, very, very much between everybody in the family to find the right balance for this. It could be Grady's mom was like, I'll come and move up there and I'll be in Toronto with you. And Grady's like, nah, mom, come on now. I mean, we got to think about this. They doing it right. Honestly, their family's so strong and solid and a great role model for families everywhere. And that honestly, I think that they've struck the right balance with how much they are involved in his life. Of course, you want your parents to be at the games as much as possible, but they're not. They are not at every single game, just so you know. They are not. They are back in Kansas a lot, and they come and show up when they can. Yeah. Name is saying, goddamn mama's boy, it's wearing thin. Spread your own wings, young man. Well, hopefully I just answered all that, Nameless. And maybe you have the wrong impression of what's going on here. Listen, don't hate on a mother and son relationship. It's an important relationship in his life. And honestly, I feel really happy that he has it. It's a very special relationship to him. And it's different because it's usually the father and the son and not the mother and the son. So, yeah, if it was the dad, would you be making a stink, Nameless? That's what I would ask you right now. Because listen, he is a mama's boy. He said it. He's the baby boy and he's a mama's boy. But it has not misguided him. It has not been a detriment. It has not been a negative in his life, honestly. So, yeah, Tom Dick's got the butterfly wings for him to fly. I think he's flying pretty good, guys. I think he's flying pretty good. After a stint in the 905, he started flying real good. Most saying Scotty Barnes posing for a photo with Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow after taking in Les Miserables recently. Yeah. Okay, cool, Mo. I didn't see this picture. Hey, I love this. I think Olivia Chow is awesome. I voted for Olivia Chow. And I'm very, very happy to see Scotty standing next to her. That's awesome. Of course, the mayor is going to be around the Raptors from time to time. John Tory was a notorious Raptor freak. He was all about the Raptors and being around them all the time. Well, I hope Olivia's the same way. And Scotty Barnes with Olivia Chow. Some people be mad at that because they don't like Olivia Chow. Well, not me. I think she's great. And I'm so happy she's our mayor right now. And I want her to do more and more to fight Doug Ford at Ontario Place and the Science Center and all the other projects he's doing. Fuck Doug Ford. I'm for Olivia Chow for sure. There you go. All right, let's keep going. Nako's saying, I think Donovan's interesting. I'd draft Kellel or Flipowski over him. Yeah, I think he's just too lumbering. I think that the knocks that they have for Edey are actually for that guy. And I don't know. I believe more in Zach. In some ways, I can tell also Zach's a very much more cerebral kind of thinking things out kind of player. Like Zach knows his weaknesses. He has no arrogance about this. If he was like worried, like if he was somebody who just had a blind spot about like, well, you need to be better at this, I would be worried about him making the NBA, but I'm not. And a lot of people are like 50-50 on this. A lot of people are not sure if Zach Edey should be in the NBA or if he's going to be a good NBA player. I think he will be. And you know why? It's because I said this to Stillman in the comment in Facebook just now, that I feel like he's like Yao Ming. There's a lot of similarities to Zach Edey as Yao Ming. Now, Yao Ming was not the fastest guy either, but he had a place in the NBA just because he can clear space and make room. And now I may have just dissed that Klingon guy for like, that's what he relies on, but I don't see him as being as strong as Zach. He looks skinnier and he's shorter than Zach. Zach is 7'4". That guy you just showed me is 7 foot. And those 4 inches matter. And also the fact that Shaquille O'Neal is saying Zach Edey has got the strength and the monstrousness of him. Well, that's Yao Ming, Shaquille O'Neal's strength and clearing room. And that's why I'm saying you get Zach Edey. I could winders this shit. NBA mainstream media may be trying to poo-poo Zach Edey on purpose because they want him to be a big secret and land him on the right team in the draft. If they sour on him a bit, it maybe helps him go further in the draft, and certain teams can be guided to get him. Because on the down low, I'm going to say this. He could have dominance like Shaq or Yao Ming in the NBA, and that's a very powerful weapon. In some ways, Adam Silver and the NBA powers and the media may want to shape where he's going to land, partly by either watering down or strengthening his reputation for how good he'll be in the NBA. Now, I would say that that's the nefariousness of the media machine around the NBA will do that. They will try and cloud a very good player to help a team get him somewhere in the draft. I believe the hype about Zach Edey. I believe he will be as dominant as Shaq and Yao Ming in some ways on the NBA court. And I think that they're trying to make it murky, to make it seem like he might not be, to help someone in the way I just said. So that's the way I look at it right now. There. Yeah. G. St. Carmen trained Grady, though, so it's a different dynamic. So is his mentor, too. It's not just mama for him, in all fairness, Nameless. This is exactly right, G. This is exactly right. He is her coach. She is her coach, his coach. She is his coach. It's like when he comes back to Kansas, she loves a rebound for him. That's what she said in the open gym. That when he comes back home, and we have him come home as much as we can, as often as we can, I love rebounding for him in the driveway. You've got to understand, Nameless, since he was a little kid, his mom was the one teaching him how to play, and she is his coach. So it's not like a normal mother-son relationship. There's a coach relationship there, a mentor relationship. And, honestly, I don't know why you're so dissing on this. This is a good thing. This young man needs direction. There's a lot of sin in this world. And his mother and their relationship and their religion will keep him away from it. Seriously. So, all right, Name is saying, I don't think it garners much respect from peers around the league. It can be perceived as some kind of weakness, in my opinion. I think it could go both ways. I think in some ways, yeah, pieces of shit may think the way you're thinking and be like, yeah, you're a mama's boy. I don't think that's true, though. I think a lot of the NBA players really love their moms, and they very much respect people that honor and love their moms. I think that you're wrong in this case. I think that somebody may see Grady and his mom's relationship and be like, yeah, this is like me and my mom. And like, I love that Grady's like this with their mom. I have to say this. You got to understand, some of the NBA players may not have had very present dads, and the mother is also the father figure for them in a lot of cases. So I think you're way off base on this, Nameless. Your take is kind of asinine. And don't worry about him being a mama's boy. I think it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. In all due respect. I love you, guy. Let's see. Country Conk saying, Lex, yesterday on the Raptors show, Blake Murphy and Samson Folk compared Grady's game with Jason Tatum. A 6'8", 3-level score is no joke, especially when they pass like a point guard. That's a big problem. I love this. These guys are comparing Grady to Jason Tatum on the Raptors show. I know you're eating this up, JP. I mean, I think I don't have a problem with that. I think that that's very much a compliment for Grady. But I will say this. I don't think he'll get to the point where Jason Tatum is, obviously. I don't think that's very likely. And I'll also say this on the flip side. I don't think Jason Tatum's as good a shooter as Grady. So there's differences here. I want to say that Grady is more like an old school player like a Tim Legler or a Mark Price or something like that. And I'm not saying that he's limited by how good they were. I'm saying the shooting. The shooting is like that. Like Jason Capono stuff. These guys were very much shooters. Now, Grady has more of a tricks, like you guys are saying on the Raptors show, and what Country Con's saying here, that he has levels to scoring other than just the shooting. But the shooting prowess and the percentage and the technique is very Mark Price kind of shit. And that is very special and powerful. Jason Tatum does not shoot like Mark Price and those guys. So in some ways, I'm very much giving a good compliment to Grady right now, and I'm dissing Jason Tatum. And if you're going to put Jason Tatum in my chat, I'm going to figure out a way. All right, let's keep going. Chris is saying he's not a mama's boy. He owns his career to his mama, and she's good. Yeah, Chris is exactly right. I'm going to give Chris a dunk and for that one, and he's exactly right. You got 46. You got the Aaron Baines 46. Gross. You know what? Fuck that. We're going to give you a three-pointer. We're going to make you have 48. I don't want you to have 46. That's a bad number to have. Tom Duke saying, thanks, Lex, for the kind words about Easter. Very important indeed. Shout out to all the moms. That's right. That's right. Tommy's mom's very important to him. And my mom is very important to me also. I'm not so much a mama's boy. My mom wanted me to be a mama's boy, but I rejected it. I was like, I don't want to be a mama's boy, Mom. I'm sorry. But, I love my mom a lot. I really do. And I'm looking forward to seeing her in a couple weeks from now. She's going to be coming back up to Toronto soon from Atlanta. I feel very blessed that I get to see my parents. I do. Let's see. Nameless saying, hey, Grady, go get your mama. Maybe she can help you tonight. Well, they're going to have this kind of trash talk anyway. What are you worried about, Nameless? Seriously, that's not the first thing they're going to come at Grady with their trash talk. Come on now. There's at least, all right, do you want to do David Letterman's top 10 list of what we can make fun of Grady for? Like on the list, number 1, you are a goofy looking white guy. Number 2, you have the last name Dick. Number 3, you are super skinny and we can push you around and make you look bad. Number 4, Grady's mom is very far down that list. Trust me. There's a lot of more open opportunities to insult and make fun of Grady. Now, having the last name Dick makes you have a thick skin about people trying to make fun of you. Trust me. I think he's heard every single dick joke you can make about his name. So what do you think he is? Some sort of wuss that he's going to get like out of his head because people are talking about? No. In fact, they said it on the Open Gym episode yesterday that everybody's realizing that Grady's strength is his quick memory, his memory to forget and be in the moment. Even if he misses the last shot or whatever's going on in the game, he doesn't care. He's staying in the moment present and he's going to do what's next to make it happen really good. That is a huge strength. And that is his number one strength, other than the very fundamentally good shooting form. That, his very short memory is a huge strength. And they said it on the Open Gym episode last night, that is a big part of it. So you think anybody's saying anything that matters on the court? No, it doesn't. He's an open target to be bullied, sure. But he's always been that. It's not his first rodeo. So let's just put it that way. Yeah. Chris is saying, Grady, Paul George. I think Grady is looking into it. You think he's like a Paul George? Man, you guys are really lauding him with some stuff. I'm going to be upset about these things. If Grady goes above and beyond being just a 3-point shooter role player, yeah, no, I'll be very, very happy if he develops more in the direction of a Tatum or a Paul George. But y'all are asking a lot right there. You're asking a lot right there. Nako's saying Grady's going to be better, more trustworthy shooter than Tatum. Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier with Nako just elaborating in a different way. He's more like Mark Price in some ways than like a volume shooter that's going to take a lot of shots and they're going to make a lot too. But they're not really a dialed in high efficiency shooter. That's the thing about Grady. This is the thing. His shooting percentage is going to go up from what it is right now. Like I could see him shooting over 50% from 3 at some point in his career. He'll really get dialed in. He'll really know the tricks of the trade and his footwork and how to, the personnel around him that he's playing against defensively. And he'll know his chances. And if he really works on his shot and really dials in and hones it and gets really micromanages his technique, he could be like an over 50% from 3 shooter in the future. In fact, he could shoot up to 60% from 3 for the whole entire year, y'all. I'm serious. This is the damn truth. I'm telling you. And that's different than Jason Tatum, who's going to shoot like 35% from 3. That's different. Trust me. That's different. Name is saying it's fine. She can be a role model or whatever, but maybe she should take a back seat a little bit and step out of the forefront. Well, all right. This is a calculated decision by the Dick family and Grady together and the Raptors, that her story, like I said, is interesting. It's not totally the normal NBA story. And in some ways they want to put it on blast, and they should, because it's a story to be told. So what if they made an Open Gym episode with Carmen Dick yesterday? Don't be a hater on that, Nameless. Who cares? Like, you know what backseat do you want? They are choosing. Grady wants her to be all up in his business. They're doing commercials together. Grady, they come to him and he's like, I want to do this commercial with my mom. She wants to be in it too. And she's like, okay, we'll put your mom in it. That's a great dynamic. We can have you guys talking to each other on the phone about our new product. Okay, we'll do that. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this in any kind of way, Nameless. You're seeing a problem that isn't there. Grady's mother's involvement in his life is not an issue. And name is saying, it's Grady Dick's career, not the Carmen Dick show. I feel like it's becoming more about her than himself. Why are you such a Carmen hater, bro? Why are you hating on Carmen so much? What did she do to you? What did she do to you? Nameless. What did she do to you? Who does she remind you of that you hate so much that makes you predisposed to hate her? There's no reason to hate Carmen Jaspers. She's amazing. She's awesome. And I love her influence on our rookie this year. She's a very important person in our rookie's life, maybe the most important person. So you need to just respect that and stop being a hater for no reason. Honestly, I don't understand this irrational. All of a sudden, there's got to be somebody who hurt you that she reminds you of. That's what it is. It can't be anything other than that. It's got to be something personal that you felt yourself. I don't know. We don't need to know all the details. But either way, please, let's leave her alone. Maybe she won't be in the spotlight so much now that we know her and see her. We got her story. Maybe she will. You'll see her on TV every once in a while. They'll probably show her in this crowd or something. Maybe you'll see her in a commercial with Grady. Don't get upset. Grady wanted to involve his mom in his commercials. That's his choice. Come on now. You're not trying to do this and this and this. Let me see. Oh, you won't stop about this? Nameless, you're going to do this the whole stream? This is silly. This is silly. This is silly and stupid. You need to let up on this. Seriously, it's so dumb. It's a very dumb argument, Nameless. I can't get behind you on this at all. You might want to retract all your anti-Carmen Dick ones because you're going to get me mad by the end of it if you're going to do this over and over again. It's just like a repeat. If you're not saying anything any new, I've had my retorts. I've told you the truth about the situation. If you don't want to believe me, then you go ahead and just be irrationally mad at Carmen Dick. I don't understand why. This is ridiculous. Didn't we learn anything about the fucking people who are going after Sudanthorpe with Fred? That, maybe mothers should be off limits as far as criticizing and talking shit about, because those lead to death threats. So, yeah, Nameless, you don't want to be in the camp with the Fred VanVleet mom death threat people, anti-mom people. Yeah, it's always a slippery slope. Where you going with this? Seriously. You want to be lumped in with those people that were sending death threats to Fred's mom? Because in some ways, you being anti-mom is like that. I'm just going to say that. Let's see. Chris is saying, do you think of Grady's mom while he is playing in NBA games? Young mommy vibes? Yeah, I don't get this whole thing. In some ways, Nameless, your whole anti-Carmen thing taking over my stream on a Saturday Share the Love Club, you're doing the wrong move today, bro. Today's love day. And you showing hate towards Grady's mom is the antithesis of Saturday Share the Love Club. So you're not following the rules of today's format. Seriously, we should be way more positive. And why the fuck are you making a big deal out of this? It's that you have to write 6 comments anti-Carmen Dick. Seriously, you might want to retract your statements. Seriously, you trying to get strikes? Is that what you're trying to do? I know you've tried to do this in the past with your bullshit. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'll read your comments if they're there, and I will get more angry, just so you know. Trevor's saying Zach Edey had another big game yesterday. 27 points, 14 rebounds, and Purdue won, didn't they? Yeah, let's go, Boilermakers. Let's keep going. Let's get that championship in the big dance. All right, he's saying it's selfish of her to be so pronounced. She played in 89. Let that rest and allow him to have his own moment. Fuck that. Seriously, all right, I'm going to be even more venomous when I reply to you. All right, listen. She probably didn't get half the shine that he's getting now, obviously, because there was no spotlight on what she did in her career. Maybe Grady feels like his mom had a whole illustrious pro career that she really didn't get any shine for. So that now he's getting shine on his career. He doesn't mind sharing the spotlight with her and getting her to get some of those feelings herself. Maybe he feels like she deserves it because of her accolades and her time before. Maybe he doesn't mind sharing the spotlight with her. Maybe he very much is doing it because he loves her very much and that he is no problem with it. Okay? So, yeah, maybe he has no problem. Maybe he's getting his own moment, and maybe he doesn't mind having his own moment with his mother involved in it. Seriously, this is so dumb what you're saying, bro. G's saying more is coming out. Bets of up to 10 to 20,000 were placed on several sites for Jonte's unders, where max they normally see for these types of players in bets is 1 to 2,000. Yeah, that is fishy as fuck. And those irregularities are probably what made them start sniffing this out and wondering what the hell's going on. They saw some vetting irregularities and investigators came to look, and they actually took it all the way to the player that was in the middle of it and seen, well, are you just a patsy? Are you just dumb? Are you on a Discord server telling people to bet on you because you're going to do shitty? Because that's what it sounded like you've been doing, Jonte. You can go on your Discord server and say, hey, bet on me to under on 3-point shots. And then when I make one by accident, banking it in, I'll make a little shit face. Like I didn't mean to do it. This is really bad. Really, really bad. MK's here. Good to see Meredith. Meredith's kicking ass in the Yahoo Fantasy playoffs right now. I see that he's playing Duke right now, and they are close, but 662 to 649. Jason Duke, you got some catching up to do with 2 more days of play today and tomorrow to figure out the first round of the playoffs. But MK's doing great. He's saying no need to go back and watch Game of Thrones if you never saw it. Just watch House of the Dragon. If you're still interested in the universe, only 1 season in, and season 2 is coming out soon. There you go. There's a suggestion from Meredith. Also holding it down in the capital region over near Ottawa, Meredith MK. Good suggestion. We'll have to see. And Nako saying the question today is, which film director did the band Death Grips get to help them with their album Year of the Snitch? Whoa. All right. You want me to do a music question? All right, Gerald. All right. And I know you love Death Grips. Death Grips is awesome. I'm very much into their band too. Well, the style of Death Grips, thinking about them, what film director would do that? Oh, man. I wish I knew more film directors. I'm going to just guess one out of the blue and just say it's somebody like this. I'm going to say it's just Spike Jones. Not Spike Lee, Spike Jones. Is it Spike Jones? Because he's always collaborating with musicians and doing interesting stuff like that. So I'm going to guess it's Spike Jones. And if I'm wrong, tell me. Please say the answer is this, and you were wrong. So that's my guess. It's an educated guess. It's probably not a very good one, but we'll see. Name is saying, Grady, it was cute your rookie year, but I don't want to see Mama anymore on TV. Well, you may not, but maybe the rest of us do. And we don't live in a dictator world of Nameless being the Mussolini of our world. No, fuck that, man. Seriously, you may not want to see her, but maybe I want to see her. Maybe I think she's awesome. And you don't get to dictate everything, Nameless. I'm sorry. You don't want to see her on the TV? You go ahead and look the other way. Does she remind you of an ex-girlfriend of yours or something? I feel like that's what it is, Nameless. Why are you such a hater on her? There's no reason to hate on Carmen Jaspers. She's awesome. What are you talking about? She helped that young man get the shooting that he has. Seriously. You want to go ask Grady why he's such a good shooter? He'd tell you it's his mom's fault. So why are you going to get mad at that? We're going to get all the good shooting out of Grady because of his mother. Why can't you connect that, Nameless? What the fuck, man? This is such a weird turn. Don't turn like Fun Guy on this channel. Seriously. Just because you hate Carmen Jaspers. This is ridiculous. This is one of the dumbest things that's come up on this channel in the whole 3 years we've been on here. The irrational hate of Grady's mom by Nameless. So irrational. Come on now. Tom Duke saying Grange, butthole face. Microphone asking that was so weird, and RJ handled it so well. Geesh. Yeah, it's like rip my heart out and stomp on it, Michael Grange. You insensitive piece of shit. Ed Rogers avatar. Yeah, Grange, I hate you so much. You're such a piece of shit, Michael Grange. You really, really are. And everybody that sees Michael Grange out in public, tell him he's a piece of shit. And if you see Rogers broadcasting in our arena with Sherman Hamilton and Brad Faye, say fire Grange on air while they're filming their pregame show or after game show. Just say it real loud, yell it into the camera. Fire Michael Grange. Yes, yell it at the Rogers cameras whenever you see them around the arena. Please, just do that. Please. Michael Porter also has another brother who was just convicted. Vehicular homicide. That family going through a lot, too. Wow. I guess it's Jonte's brother, too. There are 7 siblings. Talented family. Listen. I mean, when I investigated more and I heard that stuff that Michael Porter was saying about coronavirus and him being like anti-vaccine, I was like, yeah, these are knucklehead. These sound like stupid people. And I hate to say it, family friend of the Porter family, Tom. It's kind of like we had fake Tom here for a little while. And it was confusing people, to be honest, Tom Duke. This Tom guy would come in and he'd be like, yeah, this is Jonte and Michael Porter's friend, Tom. And he would be in our chat for a little while and everybody thought it was you. And they're like, oh, Tom's back. They'd be so happy. And I was like, no, it's not the same Tom. This is Jonte's Tom. This is not our Tom, Tom Duke. So I'm glad that Toms are in the right places at this time. All due respect, Tom, friend of the Porter family. You're a cool dude. I like you. We're interested in having you around when you're talking to us. But yeah, we prefer our Tom. We do. We prefer our Tom Duke. That's right. Chris is saying Marvin Gaye was the answer. The album was What's Going On. Awesome. All right. I don't remember the album question, though. I only remember you saying what person was on the NFL. And that was the album he was making when he was trying to be in the NFL. Okay. Yeah. See, this is advanced shit. In some ways, I said I'll answer music questions, but you could probably figure out all kinds of crazy, really, really like unknown stuff that, yeah, you'll stump me. I should figure out. Maybe I should say, y'all can ask me any question about wrestling. I'll get it. But it has to be before 2003. It cannot be anything current in the last 20 years. If you ask me any question about wrestling before 2003, I can answer it. I think I guess I am not answering the music questions exactly right. I've gotten some of them, though. I got a couple of them. Let's see. Space Cadet's here. Good to see Space Cadet. We see him every once in a while. It's always good to see him. Both Fred and Pascal could make the playoffs. Wonder how he who shall not be named feels about this. What a bozo. Yeah, I'm really proud of Freddie. Freddie hit the game winner last night, and Houston fans are so in love with him right now. And honestly, they should be. I was a little worried when Fred took that contract last summer, $43 million a year. That it's like, listen, bro, that's a lot of money, and people are going to be really judging you by your paycheck at this point, Freddie. Well, it doesn't matter. Freddie's like betting on himself in the right way, Jonte, and he has earned his $43 million this season. I don't think if you went to the average Rockets fan right now and you asked them, was Fred worth paying $43 million this year? Would you agree with that? They would say yes. Oh my God, yes. Look at what he's been doing with our culture. Look at how we're winning. Look at how we're making a run to making the play-in. And just the things he's doing, the way he's unlocked Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun has been absolutely worth the $43 million that we're paying him this year. So in some ways, I love that. And in some ways, Fred VanVleet propaganda on Twitter is just in a heyday of loving the reaffirmation that they were right, and we've been right. All the Fred stands for Fred last year, and the anti-Fred people in Toronto were fuckers. We were the ones who were right, the ones who were with Fred, the ones that were standing by him and defending him, just like Space Cadet was. And that's the thing that's interesting now, that a fuckface like Pensair, his channel and his content from last year looks so fucking stupid with the story of Fred VanVleet and what he's done with the Rockets this year. Yeah, don't, be careful. You should value what you got while you got it. And having Fred was an awesome thing for our team. I love Fred so much. And I'm so glad he's doing well for the Rockets. And I want to see them get that play-in spot and knock one of those other teams out, the Warriors or the Lakers, out of the play-in. That would be so awesome. But yeah, good stuff, Space Cadet. Yeah, Fred, he's earning that 43. He really is. Most saying, I will give credit to Daryl Morsell in his post game yesterday. He deserves more opportunity, if not with the Raptors elsewhere. Kobe Simmons gets a well-deserved thumb up this season with 905, etc. All right, since you brought it up, let me do my 5 stars of the final 905 game for the season yesterday. A victory, a very close victory over the Motor City Cruise. Yeah, Daryl Morsell is awesome. I really feel bad for Daryl because in some ways he's never, ever been called up to the NBA. He's a G League player straight up. And you can tell he's like, this is what he said again after the game yesterday. He said, I show what I do. That's all I can do. And if people don't like it, they don't want it, and they don't want to bring it up, that's all I can do. He's helpless in this. He's doing his best. He's trying his ass off. He's 2 years of the 905 now with Eric Curry. And he was a Yeoman's veteran, just amazing influence on this team. I want to share the love for Daryl Morsell right now. And the 2 years that he's played on the 905, he's been a steadying force, a great person on our team. And we really appreciate you, Daryl. I'm with Monique. I'd like to see him get some sort of chance just to at least appear in one NBA game and get that dream of playing in the NBA. I feel like Daryl Morsell deserves this. In some ways, Raptors, throw the guy a bone. We're not doing anything for the rest of the season. Make him another one of the call-ups and put him on a 10-day before the season ends, because I feel like Daryl Morsell deserves a reward for the great work and the steadying stuff he's done for the 905 the last 2 years. And I'm totally with that. I'm totally with what Mo said there. He deserves more opportunity. And if it's not with the Raptors, I wish somebody else would pick him up and bring him up. In some ways, I feel bad for Daryl because he's so close to his dream and he's just waiting for that call. And it just has not happened. You got to think about all the guys who've been around him over the last 2 years that have gotten the opportunities and gone by him. And in some ways, he's got to feel a little sad himself, I'm sure. Yeah, Kobe Simmons gets a well-deserved thumbs up this season with 905. Yeah, I think he did really good. All right, my 5 stars of the game for yesterday's last game. My number 1 star is Makur. McCurr was absolutely fantastic. He's finished the season so strong, and I'm really proud of him. He really got his shot field goal percentage up. 7 for 12 for the field, 2 of 4 from 3. He made both his free throws, 4 offensive rebounds, 14 rebounds altogether, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. He did have 5 fouls, but that's not too bad. No turnovers. 19 points in 31 minutes. Yeah, McCurr with the 3-point shots, the rebounding, the shot blocks, the length. He's just awesome. And he really was playing for the crowd. He wants to please the crowd, and he's out there doing stuff to make them really happy. He had one dunk he really screwed up, though. He had a really awesome power dunk, but he bricked it, and it went flying to half court. But he's awesome. He's definitely my number one star. My second star is Daryl Morsell. Daryl Morsell was the leading scorer for the 905 yesterday. 8 of 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 5 from free throw, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Stat stuffing, 21 points, a -3 in his plus minus. Yeah, Daryl, like I just said, Daryl's been a steady leadership person for the 905 2 years now. He's been just really, really rolling with the punches, trying to stay ready as much as possible and just do the best he can do. At times during the season, he had to play way, way more. And at other times, he didn't play hardly at all. And he just always did what Eric Curry asked of him in the 2 years he's played for them. So big respect to Daryl Morsell. In some ways, you're going to be a Raptors 905 legend to me forever, my guy. If you're not back with them next season and whatever has the future for you, if you're going overseas, if you're doing whatever you're going to do, my guy, we love you, Daryl. And the real ones around Raptors Freak Nation that watched you on 905 the last 2 years will always keep you in their hearts. And that's how I feel about Daryl Morsell. That's right. Third star of the game is Drake Jeffries. Actually, Drake Jeffries finally had a good game. He's been over so much in recent months. It's really bugged me. This guy is just not, man, it bugs me. But he made good shots last night. 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, a +9 with 14 points. Drake Jeffries zeroing in and making his threes finally last night. There's too many 0 for games, Drake, this season. In some ways, it's good that you ended the season on a good note. My 4th star of the game is the very powerful Kevin O'Banner. O'Banner's been in there battling and doing his best all season. In some ways, there's parallels to O'Banner to Morsell because he is somebody who's just on the cusp of getting called up, but it just didn't happen. His double-double was very awesome. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 5 of 14 from the field. I wish he converted a little bit more. 2 of 6 from 3, 4 of 5 at the free throw line. He had 7 offensive rebounds. That is a fantastic work by Kevin O'Banner. 1 assist and 2 blocks, a +8. Yeah, Kevin, you've worked really hard this whole season. I want to give you some recognition. I'm going to tally up all the stars for the 905 season, and I'll have my report about the top players for the 905 over the whole entire year by adding that all up. My final star of the year for the 905, the 5th star for last night's game is Miles Burns. I want to give a little bit of credit to Miles, a very talented athlete, the first-round pick for the 905 this season. But, there's a lot more that he needs to develop, namely his shot. He is a very good athlete. He's a burst of energy off the bench, and he does a lot of stuff like he has great ups. But there's needs to be more well-rounded to his game if he's going to go any further as a professional in basketball. And that's just the damn truth. 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 9 points. I picked Miles mainly because he did fill up the stat sheet, and he was very active out on the court last night. Other players that played, Omari Moore, 3 of 11 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 10 points, 6 assists. He could have shot better. I may have liked it. Marquise Noel is fine. It's just that he's rusty, and he's not playing exactly right. He only came back the last 2 games, and he was on a minutes restriction in the first game. This one he played a little bit more minutes, but he was still on a minutes restriction. 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 8 assists with 6 turnovers. And that's part of the reason why I couldn't put Noel on one of the stars. But as I said, Noel has an influence on the game, even if he's not playing well. He got the team started on the right foot and energized immediately, right in the middle of the game, at the very beginning of the game. Noel throws a really good pass to one of the players, and they get an easy basket to start the game. It opens scoring up really easy, and they get on the right vibe, the right foot right away. And Noel assisted on 3 out of the first 4 baskets for the Raptors 905, and he really set the table for them. So I'm very proud of him for that. His stats weren't that good, though. 7 points, 8 assists, 6 turnovers, 2 steals. Delaire off the bench, baby Jonte, 2 for 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from three, 9 points. He wasn't bad. 7 rebounds. He could have. He's my honorable mention. And then the new guy Kirkwood came in and he got a basket, and that's it. He just showed up as a replacement player. So yeah, there's been a lot of replacement players and new players coming in and out of the 905 all season. And Eric Curry and Luke Wynn had to navigate that rough seas of so much change and turnover in the roster. It's very challenging. It's very, very challenging. And the roster for the Raptors had to go through the same stuff too this year. Lots of change and lots of different players playing for both teams on both levels. Yeah, Chris is saying, which singer tried out for an NFL team while making the best soul record of all time? But I'll make it more obvious in the future. Yeah, you didn't ask me what the soul record was. You just said which singer. You have to write it out. You have to learn how to write for a quiz show, bro. You can't write half-assed. You have to write exactly what you mean, because I only take what you mean, what you say. You didn't ask me what the record was. So yeah, make it more obvious. That's all you can do. Baby me like I'm 3 years old. Seriously, just baby me. That's the best way to do with any of the comments. Honestly, the more things are more clear, the better. In some ways, Wayne's saying questions by Grange and all are just insensitive and classless. RJ's family situation is private and nothing to do with basketball. Well, they made the situation public. Now these people think that they can just run roughshod in through the door. That's not the way it should be. They're being very generous, and they maybe shouldn't have done that. Everything about RJ and his brother's death has been very out in the public, and we've all seen it. In past cases, they may not even tell you why, and you may not get the information because it's none of our business. So in some ways, the press needs to act like, you're very lucky that you've been clued in on what's going on. In some ways, yeah, we probably did need to tell everybody what was going on with this, because it is a huge thing, and we don't want them to suffer alone privately without knowing. But yeah, I really was mad at them. If y'all want to watch the interviews from the practice yesterday, you will see just what Wayne and I are so mad about, how insensitive they were towards RJ, his brother just passed in this month. It's not like this is like a long time ago and he's had a lot of time to grieve. So yeah, fuck you, Grange. Fuck you, Doug Smith. And any of the other reporters that asked anything insensitive towards either RJ or Darko yesterday. In fact, you almost made Darko tear up when you brought up his Serbian coach friend that passed this year. You fuckers. Why you want to keep bringing that up in his face so he has to feel the pain of his friend Dayon passing all over again? You fuck faces. You fucking insensitive shits. Yeah, Tom's with us 100%. Nako saying, I'm looking at Penny's upload titles. Seems like he's praising Darko. So, maybe he's turning a new leaf. That being said, I haven't seen the new video. Don't call him a nickname. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I know you can't write his name in, but yeah, well, that's good. If he's using his channel for more positive spin and being more positive for Raptors Nation, I will fully endorse and be happier with him. It's just he was so destructive last year that in some ways I hate him forever for that. Misovic, if you're fucking doing better work because it's actually being more positive and constructive and helpful for the Raptors franchise, I will be more happier with you. This has always been the one thing I've had a problem with you about, is that a lot of your shit has not been necessary and it's been destructive. And I've hated you for it since you've had your dumbass channel, Penn Sarah Basketball. Let's see. Monique saying Luke Wynn has work to do. Thanks for an update, Lex, on the interview. Finally. Yeah, it was cool to hear him during the game. And in some ways, I like the guy. I really do. But in some ways also, I can tell he's a little bit out of his water as far as like his league. I don't know. In some ways, I'm going to give him more of a chance because the GM job is different than coach job. The results don't get found out like quickly. In some ways, I want to see how quick on his feet he is bringing in guys next year and seeing how many of them come up. So I'm all about Luke Wynn continuing to be the GM of the 905, but definitely not with Eric Curry being the coach. Definitely not with that. Yeah, for sure. Evelyn's saying, happy Easter, Raptor Freak family. Happy Easter to you, Granny Swag. Evelyn, we love you. We love baby Candace. We love the new baby too. We love Prince Toussaint and all the family. I hope you guys have a fantastic family Easter and just full of smiles and fun and maybe some chocolate Easter bunnies for little baby Candace. I'm sure that's what she's going to get. She's going to get that. This is going to be so cute. Fiercey saying, Grange is classless. This has been established a long time ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if you want more ammunition to understand, watch how he asked the question to RJ at the beginning of the interview from yesterday. Absolutely no class. Absolutely insensitive and a piece of shit. Yeah. Nako's saying 7'2", but I hear what you're saying. It says he's 7 foot on his Wikipedia, just so you know, Nako. I listen, I'm gonna favor if we're gonna get an over 7 foot guy, it should be that Purdue Boilermaker. It just the pluses of him being on Team Canada, him playing with Olynyk and Barrett already, it can be added to our crew, and it's just smart. In some ways, him being from Toronto is a huge draw. In some ways, him having loyalty to our country is a huge factor in this. So if y'all are going to bring me other 7-footers from the draft for this year, I'm going to say Zach, and Zach, because there's too many good things about Zach that fit with the Raptors, obvious ones that we need to do. Some people are saying, I don't like that though, Lex. You want to just pick him because he's a Canadian guy? That's one of the good reasons why, yeah. But there are real practical reasons other than him being the Canadian guy too. It is also that he is really the real deal. And I do truly believe what I just said, because Shaq recognizes Shaq in other people. And Shaq's recent comments about Zach Edey and what he said, he wouldn't say that about people. He rejected Dwight Howard. We know this. Dwight Howard came up and he wanted to be like Shaq. He's like, ooh, I want to be like Shaq. If I could be like Shaq, I want to be like Shaq. I'm going to get a superhero tattoo on here, Superman. I'm going to be like Shaq on Orlando Magic and be like Shaq. And Shaq said, no, fuck that motherfucker. You aren't like Shaq. No, you're not. He said, no, there ain't no Superman. Well, if Shaq's coming around and saying Zach is like my kind of guy, he's like me, and he sees it in him, well, that's a really good like person to check off and say, yeah, he's bona fide. If Shaq sees Shaq and Zach, then I'll take the Shaq endorsement, is what I'm saying right here. That's what I would take right there. Yeah, Shaq, the Shaq endorsement. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. I have all the confidence in Zach Edey. He already is good on FIBA at FIBA on Team Canada. Yeah, and he can learn. He's very smart, big young man. And man, I just think it's a great fit. If it doesn't happen, so be it. But if we can make it work, Bobby, somehow, some way with the draft picks we got, bring that big man Zach home and have him play for Canada. That's right. Tom Duke saying Friday freakout was alarming. Yeah, what I was telling you guys about yesterday. Yeah, it's annoying. I don't know if it's just fear mongering by CBC, Tom. I feel like it's not going to matter, that we're going to have success and it's all going to work out. But it is something that people are talking about being a problem. And in some ways, I worry about it. I really do. I'm glad you watched it later and you come back and talk about it now. Cool Cat saying NBA does not want Raptors to get him. I hope the Raptors are secretly courting him. He's very serious about basketball. This could be like what I was trying to say earlier, is they're kind of clouding him. If you think about the draft when we drafted Scotty, did anybody hear about Scotty before we drafted him? No, they were putting him on the down low. They're trying to hide him because they knew Scotty was Scotty, but they didn't promote him. That's why they were pushing somebody like Jalen Suggs so heavily. And all our sheep fans that don't think for themselves were just buying it and saying, oh, Jalen Suggs. That's because ESPN said it. Y'all don't understand. ESPN's going to misdirect y'all. And that, them not talking about Zach in a certain way, maybe trying to hide him and keeping him under the surface, much like a Scotty Barnes 4 years ago. So that's what I would say about this. Seriously, understand this, NBA fans and Raptors fans, that the ESPN media machine has weird reasons for why they do things. And what Cool Cat's saying could be very true. That the media machine may be trying to obscure or hide Zach from the idea of him being here. I think it's a great fit. If I was Adam Silver, I'd want Canada players on Raptors more and more. Obviously, the Raptors would want that, but I think that Adam Silver should want that too, because it's a good synergy and it's a good feel. And it helps the Raptors team. That may be what he doesn't want, but it does help our team to have more Canadians on it. Yeah, Tom Duke's saying he's got the Canadian maple leaf. He's got a bag and he's got a basketball. That's right. That's right. Cool Cat's saying Grady's mom is also a great b-ball player. She is his coach from a little kid to now. Yeah, I know. Like if Grady's mom didn't play basketball, I wouldn't understand why they're making an open gym about her. She has a very valid reason to be in the content. You don't see them making it about Grady's dad. Grady's dad played baseball. They're not making an open gym episode about baseball and Grady's dad. It wouldn't make any sense. But Grady's mom is a very storied basketball player. And I don't remember any of the other Raptors in the history of the Raptors having a mom that was a professional player. And that's why, in some ways, this is a new thing. And open gym needs to discover it and put it on blast. I mean, it just makes sense to me. I mean, it really does. Fiercely saying, I won't have it in me to be a momager. You're getting a 3-pointer, Fiercely. That's hilarious. I mean, I know you probably have these kind of feelings that you might want to at times. 67. You got a great year, 67. But she has background and used to train him, I believe. Age must be so proud of his accomplishments, and she must be so proud of his accomplishments. Happy Easter. Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's a momager. She's a coach. She's a mentor. She's a mom, but she's definitely not trying to manage his life. That's what Michelle Carter used to do to Vince. Yeah, she was managing his life. I don't think she's as overstepping as Michelle was when she was around our team in the early 2000s. She was a busybody, and she was putting her hands and her opinions and her thoughts on everything all over the place with the GM, the coach, and everybody. She was a real pain in the ass. I know Grady's mom's not that kind of energy like Michelle Carter. And that's a big difference. Fiercey ain't trying to be a momager to Fiercey Salcera Jr. And that's the right way to be. Tiger moms, Tiger coaches, like Ron Harper Jr.'s mom. She was like that. She's a Tiger coach. Yeah, very hard on him. Very, very hard on him. Let's see. Happy Easter. That's right. Cool Cat saying Grady is a 3-level shooter. He mentions Klay Thompson and Pacers legend Reggie Miller. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, those are the people he looks up to for sure. He mentioned them when he was talking about who his influences are. Let's see. Nako saying, I also trust Grady to have better IQ in his prime than Tatum. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but, some players, there's all kinds of different smarts. We kind of talked about this with Jonte recently. There's basketball IQ smarts. You can have IQ smarts on the court, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're an intellectual person off the court and the way you live your life. You can have book smarts. You can have street smarts. You can have common sense. There's all kinds of different levels of intelligence in different ways. And, well, some of the NBA players that are really high skilled and very good athletes, they're not the smartest intellectuals. Let's just put it that way. Now, if you are a very smart intellectual and you are a high level, top level athlete with a lot of talent, sometimes you can be better just because you're smarter intellectually. Let's just put it that way. I won't say any further about the evidence or the example that Nako's put in front of us. Let's see. All right, who's next on the chat? I see Nameless went off, and I'm glad he took him back because honestly, I love you, Nameless. I don't want to be mad at you, man. And honestly, this is no reason to get mad. It really isn't. Let's see. MSJ saying, I like Carmen better than Vince's mom anyway. Yeah, but yeah, I will agree with Nameless. If they make her into a 10-year storyline, I doubt they will. No. I think this, in some ways, you guys are worried about something that's silly. No, she's not going to be in the forefront a whole lot. I mean, what is the problem? Like, if she's like Kyle's mom and she's in the crowd and they show her every once in a while. I mean, did Kyle's mom piss y'all off when she was around the team all the time? Because the mothers have been around the players in the arena. You may see them, but you don't see them. I don't think she's going to be annoying or a distraction. If this becomes an issue down the road, we'll talk about it. But I don't see this, guys. I really don't. I don't think anything about Carmen Jaspers is a problem in any kind of way. Y'all may be just worried because of Michelle Carter. That may be part of it. You're worried about Michelle Carter. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, why the hate towards Grady's mom, who's the coach? Scotty's coach didn't get slander. Sexism is showing. Yes, I said it. I'm going to give Cool Cat a very brave 5-pointer because she's exactly right. This is very sexist, and this is kind of fucked up, Nameless. Seriously. So Cool Cat's getting a 5-pointer because she's being brave to speak out against you, and she's exactly right. She's got a Thad Young 21. Yeah, I mean, I'm not having this. Listen, we're not going to get mad because the mom's around. Would you get mad if the dad's around? That's the whole thing. And I'm with Cool Cat on this. I'm very much with her on this. Mo's saying, I'll be at the game tomorrow. Obviously, I've always loved the early game, even when I was younger. Yeah, 6 p.m. start for the Easter game. And yeah, I would love for y'all to get down there and get an Easter present. Monique and Adriana and Wendy and Dana, everybody's going to the game. I want to see the Raptors beat Nick Nurse tomorrow. And I would love to see that. If somehow, some way we can break our losing streak by beating the Sixers tomorrow, somehow, some way, that would be glorious. And I'm all about it. So let's do it. Why not? Nothing to lose. We're not supposed to win. Well, if we fuck around and win, that's great. And Monique, you bring those good vibes like you always do. Oh, Adriana will do her part, and I'm sure Dana will too. So y'all go down there and help us get the win, ladies. Seriously, please do it. Blackhawk saying the open gym with Grady and Carmen is an excellent addition. Respect and legacy is what I got from it. Exactly. Neil's saying it basically, the Open Gym series is chronicling our team and its history. In some ways, the seasons of the Open Gym will be a great thing for young Raptors fans who want to understand our history to go back and watch it. As much as Naco the Nacho is going to binge watch Games of Thrones tomorrow, there could be Raptors fans in the future that start with season 1 Open Gym and go right through the whole series. In some ways, it's important for us to document all aspects and stories around our team. And the relationship between Grady and his mom is an important one to document in the history. And that's exactly right. And that's what Neil's saying right there. It's a legacy episode, and it's talking about that relationship and why Grady is who he is, in a lot of ways, if you went to Grady and asked him, how did you get to be such a shooter? He would say, it's my mother. My mother taught me how to shoot. And I owe a lot of this to this. So why would Raptor fans get mad at Carmen Dick if she taught Grady how to shoot so well, and we're going to reap the benefits of it at this point? Like, seriously, think about what I just said there. Yeah. Nameless is saying, I'm striking like Jet Li at a pinata party. All right, you're going to get a dunk now because that's kind of funny. And Nameless, I love you, man. I don't understand this. We're sharing the love today. There's no reason to be hating. And that's some of the things. I know I hate all the time on this channel. All right, you got the Morris Peterson 24, my guy. Morris Peterson 24. Mo Pete, that's right. Yeah. Striking like Jet Li at a pinata party. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. Smooth saying, actually, House of the Dragon is set 150 years before the events of Game of Thrones. Makes sense to watch it before Game of Thrones. All right. This is good, interesting perspective. So maybe I shouldn't watch Game of Thrones. I should start with the House of the Dragon first, and then I'll go back and watch Game of Thrones afterwards. All right. All right. Nako saying the director is Andrew Adamson, who worked with Death Grips, director of the Shrek films and the Narnia films. Okay, I would never have gotten that. I've never heard the name Andrew Adamson before in my life. I have no idea who that guy is. So I said Spike Jones, and I was absolutely wrong. All right, good stuff. I know you're a huge Death Grips fan, Nako. They are awesome. They really do a good thing. Like when I was complaining about hip hop today, and it's just a bunch of noise. Well, they're just a bunch of noise, but they're noise that makes sense to me. Smooth saying Game of Thrones was a lot better than I thought. It's really, really good. Yeah, I like it too. Did you guys ever watch Game of Zones? That's a good one. The NBA mashup with Game of Thrones. Yeah, they'd stopped making it when the Raptors won the championship. They didn't know how to write the storyline after that because they wanted to make us choke at the big banquet scene with Kyle Lowry and Drake. Drake pulled the mask off and it was LeBron and they were all joking. Yeah, that was bullshit. And the Game of Thrones, Game of Zones creators were Nets fans and assholes, and they hated the Raptors. And when the Raptors won, they didn't know how to deal with that. They had Kawhi come in as the White Walker and showed up on our team because he got traded to our team. And they didn't show what happened after that when we won the championship from Golden State and their little golden city with Steve Kerr with his little chalice being all hoity-toity. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about if you watch Game of Zones. Yeah. Cool Cat saying Grady's mom is why he's a great b-ball player. His dad is not the baller in the family. Pistons, Jaden Ivey's ball influences his mom. And WNBA baller, and all the WNBA you grew up around on the court. Yeah. I mean, this is a great phenomena. Jaden Ivey is a great story of this. His mother played for the Shock for Detroit in the same city. So that's a very cool kind of story, and I feel like this is the same thing. Grady's mom is not a bad thing in any kind of way. And I don't know why we have to really make this clear. Smooth saying, I thought it ranks as a top 10 sci-fi fantasy show for me. It's just really well done. Like they really put a lot of budget into it and they really made it like, it's so like this, the plot and the storyline. Obviously the novels are very rich with all kinds of great writing, and the adaptation to screen was done really well. So yeah, Game of Thrones is a real deal. Even though I haven't watched the whole thing, I respect it. And I know that it was really extremely well done for sure. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, I'm thinking of going to see Lowry game on Sunday. I love seeing all of our championship players do well. Pascal, leading scorer, rebounder, complete, top 3 assists, clutch. Freddie, steady Freddie. That's right. Yeah, that may be one of the only reasons I would want to go to the game is Kyle. Like I've already gone to a Philly game this year and I saw Nick beat us and it kind of bugged me. It wasn't the most fun game. Let's just put it that way. There were a couple events that happened at the game were tough to deal with. But in some ways, it's like, look, you guys go and have fun. Go see the Nick Nurse game tomorrow. And hopefully, maybe he doesn't sweep us. Maybe there's some sort of way the Raptors pull it off and get the W against the Sixers. And we stop a Sixers sweep this year. In some ways, that is an accomplishment and something to play for, Darko and the crew. You guys have 3 days off. The Sixers are reeling. They've been losing lately. So maybe y'all can do something special and not let Nick get a sweep on his former team in the first year of his other team. So I'm all about that. Trevor J saying, bro, songs like he didn't get enough love from his mama, so he hates that somebody else mama gives love. I hear what Trevor's saying. And I mean, I don't want to believe that, but yeah, I feel bad. Racimo's saying it's time to get Lex press access. That'd be interesting and weird. Like, if you want to give independent media a press access, I'll come down to the OVO Center and stand with those jabronis. In fact, maybe I'll give them dirty looks when they're asking bad questions, Masai, if you want me to be down there. And yeah, I'll lob softballs. I'll get questions of interest for people. Yeah, maybe I'll ask a little bit more lifestyle questions. Maybe I'll ask some X's and O questions like you're supposed to, like Samson Folk. Maybe I will just ask stuff like, what book did you read this summer, OG? You know, that's the kind of thing I would be asking. I'll ask the good questions because I'm on the inside and I want to find out the good stuff. You know, it was really nice to hear RJ talk about his brother, about saying, this is what he said. He said, I got the basketball, but he got everything else. He could draw. He could do anything he wanted to, what he applied himself. In fact, the thing he was doing right before he passed away was he was learning how to become a pilot. It sounds like, you know, in some ways, the friendship and the relationship between these two brothers were best friends. And this is really hard. Like RJ said, he's calling and texting him still, and he doesn't know why. Man, he is so grieving. And Michael Grange, that's so wrong of you to do that. This man just told you he's still texting and calling his brother who just passed away. And you guys are so insensitive. So insensitive. Oh my gosh. It makes me so mad. Yeah, Tommy's got the team on blast. I love to see it. There's me with the microphone and the cameras. I love it, Tom. He said, have an awesome day, everyone. Go Raptors. Yeah, no game today, no preview. I'll have the preview tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. for the Sixers game tomorrow on Easter Sunday. The last game of the year against the Sixers for the Raptors. Yeah. Mo's saying, I just want to take the time to say thank you to every single one of you for following my journey from the start, despite the outcomes, challenges in the season, etc. Mo, that's right. We're with you. You know, I'm so happy that we've developed this family over the last couple of years because we have a new friend group and we really do have new friends. I love the fact that Nameless came up to you at the game this year, just out of the blue. He saw you and he introduced yourself to him. This is awesome. The more we can connect in real ways in real life, whether it's the meet and greets or just, you know, being at the game and running into each other is fantastic because we have built a community. And I really do like enjoy that you are a big part of it, Monique. And the fact that, you know, we have more friends because of this is awesome, Mo. It's just as much for you or me or any of the others on here. We have more people that we can say, this is my friend Tom. He lives in Victoria. This is my friend Isaac. He lives in Ottawa. We have real friends that we make through this channel. And I'm glad that you're a big part of it, Monique. I really, really am. And that you should be more celebrated and honored because of your very, very true passion and love for our team. You really should be. Yeah. Later to the Dukester from Canadian Cowboy. Yeah. And Tommy's got look at the Easter eggs and a little Easter bunny. Happy Easter. I love it. Wayne's saying current conversations are the results of Raptor Freaks have nothing good to say about the current cohort of players. Kelly, IQ, RJ, Scotty exempted. Yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, we're going to find stuff to talk about. We do. In fact, we're almost at 2 hours. I should probably finish up soon. But yeah, today I just really wanted to put some shine on the Raptors 905 support. Really good job of going to the games with enthusiasm, loudness, passion, and cheering fans that went to those games. School day games especially. But otherwise, regular crowds on regular nights like last night showed a good passion and cheering too. So, yeah, great job supporting a team that was not winning. I mean, they came out and lost their first 8 games this season, but it didn't stop y'all from coming to support them this season. And kudos to Mississauga, the 905 community, for coming out and supporting the team very well and getting the most ticket sales out of all the G League teams. That is amazing. Seriously, we're not in the top half or anywhere near the playoffs right now, and we still had the best support out of all the G League teams. That means a lot right there. That really does. Cool Cat saying Scotty is loving Broadway. Love that he's showing us his personality and other interests. Be great for. Yeah, he went to Hamilton this year too. So he probably does love going down to Princess of Wales and around that area of King Street and going to the big shows. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So he was at another show and that's where he was with Olivia Chow. Yeah, Scotty's an interesting guy. He's just going to be him. And I accept Scotty for who he is. I don't care. He can be whatever he wants. He can change however he wants to change. Scotty is Scotty, and I love Scotty. Scotty's been so nice and generous with his time on Twitch in the past that we got to know him, and he knows the Raptor Freaks. And in some ways, we support our guy Scotty no matter what. I don't care. Whatever happens with Scott over the years, as far as things, we know he's a good young man, and we know he's got the right intentions in a lot of ways. And I'm proud that he's a Raptor, is what I would say. Yeah. Yeah. Seymour saying, share the blood clot love, people. Happy Easter. Kicking it with family just hits different. Yeah, it's for sure. It's for sure. Hopefully you have a family that is easier to be around. Some people don't. And it's very difficult to be around their family. So be thankful. I mean, the best place to start from is gratitude. And be thankful. If you have one family member you get along with and you really love, really cherish them. And let them know that you do really appreciate them. Go up to them and tell them, man, I love you so much, Uncle. If I didn't have you around, man, I'd be really sad. And I really do appreciate you. Because sometimes those words of encouragement or love or just how you feel about people, it means so much. It'll change how people feel about themselves. And you didn't even realize it. So, yeah, there's somebody in your family you're going to see this weekend that you don't say enough to about how much you appreciate. Do it. Do it this weekend. Life's short. You need to do it. Yeah. Yeah, Nako's saying Spike Jones is a pretty good guess. Back to Game of Thrones. All right, Nako, you're going to railroad my stream into your obsession with Game of Thrones this weekend. Best characters are Treyon and Arya and Treyon are the favorite characters. Tyrion is the little guy. Is whatchamacallit? What's the actor's name? I always forget his name. You know what I'm talking about. It's the little guy, right? That's Tyrion. And Arya is the area. And Arya is the young girl that gets the stick sword, right? Yeah, those are the two characters you're talking about. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Seymour said, hip hop don't suck, y'all. Just listen to the weirdos of the industry. Tap in, tap. I put play it again, Sue, on some tracks, but she said it ain't her genre. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sue's going to do what she's going to do. I've tried to suggest stuff to Sue also, and she hasn't taken it. But she's got her specifics of what she knows and her expertise. Who knows? Maybe she'll do something at some point. But yeah, I love hip hop. I've never hated hip hop. People that don't like hip hop, I think are closed minded. And I don't know who's on this channel that doesn't like hip hop. I know Nako's a huge hip hop fan. He knows a lot about hip hop himself. You know, it's the more current, like trashy kind of like mainstream hip hop that's like commercial hip hop. Is I would say, all right, listen, all the genres suck right now. Country music sucks, mainstream. Metal sucks, mainstream. A lot of alternative rock sucks, mainstream. Popular music sucks, mainstream. It's formulaic, and the hip hop is the same. It's not really a symptom of any specific genre. It's a specific symptom of the music industry at this point. Everything's formulaic. They want to have sure bets. So they'll manufacture a boy band or a hip hop group in a way that they want to. That's not totally natural. And they'll have certain elements. You know, one of the things that music's been doing recently to try and attract people to listen to it is they know the tones that are attractive to people on a subconscious level. There's certain patterns in music with like going up and down and musical notes and the tones of it that are very pleasing to people. And one of the artists that uses this very extensively and overly is Drake. That Drake's music has a scientific formula to it that is like jumps into a whole area where it's going to be attracted to us naturally. So there's a formula that's being used for certain genres that has been proven that's being used ad nauseum. And that's why there's no innovation. And a lot of the artists are the same. Is because they see the formula that works and they're trying to mimic it. And it doesn't matter which genre it is. They're doing it in all of them. The metal bands are all the same in certain ways. The hip hop bands are all the same in certain ways. The country artists are all the same in certain ways also. But yeah, I'm with you. There's still very good independent underground hip hop. And there's still people that do it the old way. And they haven't gone the way of the new stuff. I mentioned the other day a couple names. I really think Nas is still at the top of his game. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing right now. And people like Killer Mike, and there's some really political, good hip hop artists out there still doing stuff like Public Enemy would be doing if they were still making music right now themselves. So that's the kind of stuff I like. Like, what's another? Earth Gang. Earth Gang's a fantastic artist. JID, fantastic artist. There's a lot of very good artists. They're very creative, doing good stuff. Stuff like Kendrick Lamar. There are artists that are actually artists, and they're putting art into that genre still. So Seymour's laughing. Cowboys saying later, Lex and the freaks. Everyone have a great, safe Easter. Smooth saying, Lex, watch Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined version. It's incredible. My number one sci-fi show of all time. That's not the original one with Lorne Greene and Dirk Benedict from the 70s that I watched when I was a little kid. You're saying that there's a more recent one, I'll bet, is the one you're talking about, I think. There's been many Battlestar Galacticas, I think. And I'll have to figure out what this is. The reimagined version? All right, I might have to check that out. I'll trust your judgment, Smooth, being the classic card guy. Let's see. Mo's saying, who do you see coming back for the 30-year anniversary of the Raptors, Lex? Everyone, right? You brought up something I haven't thought about at all yet. And I know that next year is that anniversary. W Stream, keep at it always. Good times approaching. Go Raptors for life. Next season's going to be fun, y'all. In fact, I think we're going to get purple jerseys next year, and it may fit for what I say about things. And I won't be totally happy about it, but it'll be the 30th season of our Raptors franchise, and we're going to have throwback jerseys. If they're going to do it like they did for the 25th season or the 20th season, there's going to be some purple in our jerseys this year, and I could see that. And I think that a lot of them are going to come back. We may be shocked how many Raptors alumni are going to be coming back around our team for next season. Terrence Ross got that email. He said it to me on Twitch the other day. The Raptors just sent me an email to come and visit, and I'm thinking about doing it. Well, he'll probably do it next season during the 30th anniversary because he's a part of our history. And there probably will be a whole bunch of them. I hope they have them coming all the time throughout the whole season. Maybe a old vet at every single home game this year. That'd be awesome. We'll see how many of them they can get to come up and do it. That'd be fantastic. I'm looking forward to next season, partly for that, if not for us reclaiming more dignity and pride around the league by winning more. Yeah, Cool Cat saying, yes, let's campaign for Lex, independent press access. It'd be fun if they let me have that. If I was with Raptors Republic, I bet I could get in there pretty easy. In some ways, I don't even want to conform to that level of being on Raptors Republic. In some ways, I make a lot of sense to be on the Raptors Republic network. My friends at Confederacy of Dunks made that leap, and they've been successfully a part of the Raptors Republic website since. I don't know if they'd want me. They probably don't like me. In some ways, they're probably jealous of me because of what I'm doing all on my own, all by myself. I've wondered about that. They know about me. I know they know. But in some ways, I don't know if they'd be interested in having me being a part of Raptors Republic or not. I've loved Raptors Republic for over a decade. They've done so many good things around Raptors that I really feel like they've been such an important part of informing people. And I really do love them a lot. I think that the stories of people like Samson Folk and William Liu coming from Raptors Republic are awesome and amazing. And I'm really those guys. I do root for them, even though Will Liu's disappointed me at times in the recent year. I'm a big Will Liu fan historically. Back in the day, I very, very much was a huge fan of his when he did the reactions on Raptors Republic all the time. I was listening to all of them, William, 10 years ago, and all the times that you and Samson did that shit. I was listening to y'all, and I listened to all y'all's podcasts back then. I stopped listening to y'all at a certain point when the new generation came in after y'all, and they just didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. There's certain people that work for Raptors Republic at this point that I can't stand, and I really don't feel like are credible people to be covering the Raptors. So I stopped paying attention to Raptors Republic after a little while. The paywall is great, and they do deserve to get paid for what they do. So, yeah, I'm a big supporter of them. I don't know if they'd have me. That'd be really weird. Like if they reached out to me and say, Raptors Freak, we really do kind of like what you're doing, and we would like to have your stream be a part of our network and put us on there. I mean, I might say yes to them, but I'd have to be able to do this exactly the same way I've been doing it. I wouldn't conform in any kind of way because in some ways I don't really need them. But if they wanted me to be a part of the Raptors Republic network, I would consider it. But I have to have creative control and be able to be still crazy and political and doing everything that I'm doing on this channel already. In some ways, they would be like, all right, well, we'll make sure we say the views expressed by the Raptors Freak are solely his own and not those of Raptors Republic. Either way, yeah. Cowboys saying later, Sheriff. Let's go. And Cool Cat saying, "I love and support to RJ always." Yes, yes. I mean, Monique, I know you were making fun of me for being so like loving RJ and stuff, but you got to understand, I didn't see this coming totally. I've always respected RJ while he was on the Knicks. I've always loved him because he's Canadian, but I didn't really see him becoming a Raptor like this. It blindsided me. And when he came in and what he was doing and everything that was happening, I was like, yeah, this guy's a real one. And honestly, in some ways, he is becoming my favorite Raptor of all time because he's so purely, truly Toronto. And he's so purely, truly supposed to be on our team. And, in some ways, the pain of his brother passing recently, you could see it before when he was playing with anger before his brother passed in games. You could see RJ had a real passion on the court. And I was wondering about that. I like what RJ said yesterday, that his brother will want him to continue to play and do his best and to carry on the Barrett legacy, as he put it. In some ways, I really want RJ to do things for his brother's memory now. And I could see it. That kind of impetus and stimulus to him and making him emotional and passionate on the court could be very powerful because we know RJ Barrett is a very passionate basketball player. You add this dimension of this sadness and he wants to work it out. He wants to get things done on the court in honor of his brother. He will do it even harder and stronger because of that gumption. It's just like Siakam said, doing it for you, Dad, because you're gone. There's going to be a factor of that with RJ Barrett going forward now, for sure, for sure. And it may be very interesting to see just how his passion changes if he has more fire in certain ways. Yeah. Fiercely saying, bye, everyone. And Chris is saying, I need to know about Deanna Liberty. Is that her name? Okay. Yeah, maybe we do need to know about her. You might have just made that name up. Wade said, tomorrow's game is just tomorrow's game, Lexicon. Detroit, Washington, Portland, all below average teams that gave us problems. Don't forget the Nets. No need to be overly optimistic about beating the Sixers. Well, Wayne, this is one of those cases where it's like we have nothing to lose. In some ways, I don't totally want to lose all the way out. I know that we're in a good place and we need to continue to have that percentage to stay in the Sixers record. But in some ways also, I know the pride of Darko, and this is the one they should go try and get. Seriously. His predecessors on the other side. In some ways, people are going to gauge him against Nick Nurse forever because he's coming in after Nick Nurse. So in some ways, I don't want Nick to get a sweep against Darko in his rookie year. I want Darko to get at least one against him. In some ways, this is a really good way to shape this game for tomorrow. The Sixers, don't get it twisted, are weakened right now, Wayne. There is a chance for us to beat them tomorrow. It may have seemed like, oh, we're not going to beat anybody if we can lose to the Wizards and the Nets like we did recently. But don't get it twisted. If RJ and IQ come back tomorrow and we get that uptick, there could be a boost to our energy that it does allow us to surpass the Sixers tomorrow. So don't get too pessimistic about it. In some ways, if we are going to win one more game for the rest of the season, I want to win tomorrow. And a lot of it does have to do with Nick Nurse. Yeah, I mean, I'll be a little optimistic. What do we have to lose? Everybody expects us to lose to Philly. So if we lose, okay. But if we don't and we do beat them, hey, we might have a party on Friday on April Fool's Day. Yeah, it'll be April Fool's Day on Monday. And maybe we'll be having a party saying, aha, Nick Nurse, you fool. But either way, it doesn't matter. We're expected to lose. So if we lose, we lose. But if we win, that's awesome. We'll be jubilant. And we'll have a little party on Monday. Yeah, we will. That'll be awesome. Let's see. Chris is saying she's the Mary to my Raptors Jesus, an important person in Raptors lore. Laugh out loud. Bye, everybody. Okay, I'm not touching that one. Isaac saying 864, friends strong. Let's grow, like and subscribe. That's right. And the right ones. That's the right one. I was telling Adriana earlier, I could get quantity. If I wanted a lot of people to come in here, I could over promote my channel and we'd get a lot of Raptors fans in here, but they probably wouldn't fit in with us, to be honest. And it could be really herky-jerky and weird. So I'll let the flow come in here naturally. And as people come in, we'll see, hey, are you a new one with us? Are you with us? Are you a new guy like James? We like you. You're awesome. You come and hang out with us more often. And some of them may be like, yeah, this guy's a pinko commie leftist. I hate him. I don't want to watch him. And they don't want to watch me. So if I put a big net out there, I'll probably get a lot of more trouble and just stupid shit in the chat. So we'll let them find us slowly but surely over time, trickle in. And right now with us losing, nobody's trying to come find Raptors content. Nobody's trying to watch them on TV. So why would they come and subscribe to my channel right now? So it really won't be until like the summer leading up to the next season that I'll start seeing an uptick in subscriptions again, even though I don't care. If I sit at 864 for like 10 years from now, I don't care. I really don't. I got the right ones, just like Isaac said. That's right. Wayne saying our crazy last game loss affected us negatively coming into the season, irrespective of new coaches. We have to be very careful how these losses carry through the draft and next season. Let's hope. Well, if a lot of the players that are on the team while the losing's been happening right now are not around, that makes it easier. It's not like Scott's out there learning losing in the last 12-game losing streak. He was only there for one of the losses, and that's it. He isn't there for most of this time. So it's not like he's learning the losing stuff because he's not actually on the court. So that's the thing. These younger guys that are playing the 905ers and stuff, well, Grady needs to learn some losing lessons early, get them out of the way, and feel the pain and the ugliness of a long losing streak. Then don't let it ever happen again, Grady Dick, is what I would say. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying, salute, Cowboy. Happy Easter to you and your family and all y'all. Yeah. This was saying Edward James almost. Katie Sackhoff are a few of the actors in the BSG. Okay, yeah, I know that edition with Edward James Olmos in the Lauren Green role, right? He's Adama. He's Adama in that role. So, yeah, all right. I know which one you're talking about. I'll try and find it. It's the Edward James Olmos edition. All right. Watch the miniseries first, and it's the only version of Battlestar Galactica that was made since the 70s version. Okay. I remember my old brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law when I was married. He was really into that series back then. I remember that. All right, Smooth, I'll take your recommendation. All right, let's do a wrap-up, and I'll get out of here. The Raptors 905 finished up their G League season yesterday with a 5-point victory over the Motor City Cruise. It was fantastic. Good job. They did a lot of good things on the team stats. They did not shoot better, but they got to the free throw line way more, 80% at the free throw line, being aggressive, getting to the line. They did not out-rebound them, but they still won. They got more assists. They got more steals. They had less turnovers, and that's a big part of why they won. So good job, Eric Curry, getting the last win of the season, and your season's over now. My 5 stars were McCurr, Daryl Morsell, Drake Jeffries, Kevin O'Banner, and Miles Burns. Thank you guys for your great service. The Raptors currently stand with a 74% chance of finishing in the 6th position, and that is great. And that means they have like a just under 50% chance to keep the draft pick this year. So the chance is still really good. In some ways, if we win, it's not going to be good if we fall if we go above Memphis. That's still very important. All right, let's do our Instagram stories just real quick. We got Mr. New York City. He's in the car going to the game yesterday. He's very excited about getting one more game and playing in front of the 905 crowd yesterday. We see him after the game signing basketballs and autographs for the 905 crew after the game. Way to finish off the year. Nothing but good vibes and saga. You know, I don't think Marquise is mad at the Raptors. And you know what? If you're on a summer league team this summer and you're in our training camp next year, come back and try all over again. Marquise, you could be in the NBA. I do believe in you, Marquise. I really do. I don't care if you're 5'7". Your passing acumen and your skills translate to the NBA. I know they do. McCurr celebrating his 19-14 game yesterday on his Instagram stories. Miles Burns, tons of stories. He had some highlights against the Motor City Cruise, a dunk in transition, celebrating his teammates, celebrating the fans. He's the one who gave the address to the fans before the game on the microphone, thanking all the 905 fans for coming out. We're thanking them too, Miles Burns. Great season. The brotherly love between the 905ers, the crowd, and everything was awesome. Good job this year, guys. Let's see what else is on Miles Burns' Instagram. He has quite a bit. He's got some young fans at the autograph session afterwards with him. They went bowling with him, and they were very happy to see him again in the autograph session. So we have some really diehard 905 fans. They're doing all the 905 events, the bowling night that Greg went to, and the autograph session after the game yesterday. Good stuff. Miles Burns with all the little young fans in pictures on his Instagram stories. Very, very cool. And then we got Siakam. Siakam's smiling big, coming into games for the Pacers right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad Siakam's smiling now, this part of the season, getting more and more wins, having success. We love you, Pascal. We always will. You are a GROAT. You always will be a top 5 GROAT in my book. Honestly, you're only second to Kyle in my book. Honestly, if you'd stuck around in Toronto a little bit longer, I might have put you over him in the GROAT rankings. But alas, you had to get traded, and now it's that sad. And speaking of Siakam, we see Siakam's brother guarding Marquise Noel on the Raptors 905 Instagram stories. I'm really glad that Christian Siakam finished out the season as a coach with Eric Curry. even though Pascal got traded. And I hope Christian Siakam, I wish him all the best and whatever he's going to do. If he sticks around in Toronto and continues to be a coach for 905, I'll be very happy about that. And so we love having the ties with the Siakam family, and Christian still working for the Raptors is a big deal and is awesome. All right, I think that's about it. I don't think there's any other. Oh, let's look at Grady's Instagrams. He's got a picture of him going up against Precious at the basket, basically. Nothing on his open gym, though, guys. So, yeah, that open gym episode is awesome. Check it out for sure. Let's see. Is there anything else on this? Yeah, they got fined. The Kings are getting hurt a lot right now. Kevin Huerter underwent season-ending surgery, and now I'm hearing Malik Monk is going to be out for the rest of the season. This is not good for the Kings right now going into playoffs. So, Kings their playoff chances are really going downhill at this point, which is too bad. All right, thanks for watching me today, guys. No Raptor birthday today, unfortunately. Monique's nobody of note for the birthday today, unfortunately. When there are birthdays, I will definitely bring them up. But thanks for asking me. Wayne said, I'm not into the losing, just not into the pick narrative, just a fan. Leave the business side alone. Our talent just not up to the level to play 48 without 20 turnovers, missed layups, so no rebounds. Sigh. What if we play perfect, though, tomorrow and we do somehow, some way, even though we're less talented, beat the Sixers? That's not out of the reach of a realm of possibility. And in some ways, if there is just a 10% chance of that happening tomorrow, well, I'd like to see that land in that area and see if it happens. We'll see. In some ways, it's personal with Nick. And I want to start beating Nick Nurse in his post-Raptors career sooner than later. I don't want to continue to just keep losing to him all the time. It sucks. It sucks. And I know it really matters a lot to him. And I know it matters to Darko too. So in some ways, we want Darko to get some get back in some ways against Nick, partly just because people are going to compare them in the years to come. We saw how it was with Casey and Nurse after Casey got fired. Well, there's a little bit of that right now. And Nick's going to win tomorrow. He's going to sweep us for the year. And he'll be the first 4-0. Like we said, Casey's revenge before. Some other people like to use the C word. I don't. It's Casey's revenge. Nick Nurse's revenge is going on. Well, I'd like to end it as soon as we can. And beating them tomorrow would help end it a little bit. It'd feel real good, too. Trust me. Blackhawks saying there are talks of making another Battlestar remake. Cool. It's a good franchise. It's a very cool franchise. I've learned this weekend, and I didn't realize this, that Star Wars was solely made because George Lucas wanted to make Flash Gordon movies, but they wouldn't allow him to with his the trademark or the license. They did not allow him. He wanted to make Flash Gordon movies. So because he was rejected from making Flash Gordon movies legally, he made his own world, Star Wars. And I don't know if many people know that's the whole reason why he made it, is because he wanted to do Flash Gordon movies. But they said, no, you can't do Flash Gordon. You're not allowed. So he said, oh, yeah? Well, I'm just going to make my whole other world up, Star Wars. And that's how that came about. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Oh, interesting stream today. Nameless, we love you. Please don't be such a mom hater. Seriously, no reason to be hating on the moms. We got moms in the stream that are very important moms to their children playing in their playing careers. Fiercely Salcera Jr. So, yeah, let's not hate on women in sports. Let's not hate on Grady's mom being on blast. There's no reason to do that. Thank you, 905 crowd, for being exemplary, being badasses, being loud, being enthusiastic, showing up, and being there for the 905 this year, even though they were not that good. And in some ways, they didn't totally deserve y'all doing that, but y'all did it anyway. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all are big respect from the Raptor Street. Very, very much. And I hope that y'all can continue to be the loud, crazy fans you are when you get older. Don't ever grow up. And when you go to sports games, be just as loud as an adult. You don't have to grow up in that way. Just trust me. I do it myself still to this day. And you will be going to Scotiabank in the future and hopefully be bringing that energy as a future crowd, the developing crowd for the Raptors themselves. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. with the preview for the last game against the Sixers on Easter Sunday, 6 p.m. tip-off. We'll have the ref report, the latest lineup news, and all the pertinent information that matters for the game tomorrow. I appreciate everybody. I love you guys. I love the Raptor Freak family, and I really, really do appreciate what we built here. I know I'm cantankerous. Sometimes we don't agree, and sometimes we have little things happening. But no, that seriously, it's the argument is the argument, and you guys are not the people that I get mad at. I'm not mad at y'all for disagreeing with me. I'm not mad at Nameless today. I'm not mad at Chris. It's just that sometimes we don't always have total smoothness, and that's just how it is in life, and it's okay to be that way. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Have a great Saturday. Raptor your day. Get out there in the sunshine and touch grass, as Scotty would say. Share the love and touch grass. That's what Scotty Barnes would want you to do with your Saturday. Let's go, Raptors, and happy Easter. Thank you for the dub, Tom. Big dubs in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Tom Dookie, Twitch family, Scotty Barnes, Twitch family. Give me the big dub in the chat. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors 905. Yeah.